Live.
Hello everybody, hello, we're back. This is 4020 live. It's Mark, Gary, Richard Shawright and John Davison is part of our team. We're not going to mention our selections last week because we lost some glory. So what we'll do instead, we've got a London shirt on the wall, we've got a London shirt here. I don't think we need to mention London's win anymore, do we, Rich?
I don't think so.
No? Did you tip them to win?
No, it's not the end.
Did you tip them, John?
Unfortunately not, no.
Okay.
That down by work for
If only one of us had. What's up? You got some flapjacks?
Sorry, gentlemen. Good evening. Who tipped London to win? And who gave the right reasons why they won?
Have you ever heard the saying, "Stop clock is right twice a day"?
Didn't you tip them to finish 9th last year?
Yeah.
Oh man, stop living in the past, Dave.
Sorry.
Stop living in the past, son. Hey, we're here now. And Scoy got it right. I got 5 out of 6 this week. All of the Catalans let me down, but yeah, well done, Cass. But and certainly one spot on. I said Saints by 10 as well. So I'm on fire, fellas. I'm on fire.
You've done well. You've done well, mate. I'm proud of you.
I'm on fire.
I can't go that far, but yeah, well done to London. Back with
Really?
a banging Super League, and well, I mean, it's season over. I've heard chants of Chester out. I've heard, you know, they want him gone, Richard.
Well, that's because...
Are you leading these chants?
Nah, it's because people are idiots, aren't they? We are going to get this. We're going to get some T-shirts with that on, actually.
What, people are idiots?
People are idiots. Hashtag people are idiots.
Also, by the way,
Hashtag new beginnings.
by the way, I've been told today. I've been getting a bit of stick from a Wakefield fan on Twitter. What's all that about saying all I'm doing?
What do you mean? You've been told you're getting stick from
You
are getting stick. Don't worry about that.
All I ever do is slag Wakefield off. I don't slag Wakefield off whatsoever. And I think if people read the column last week, I gave the reasons why London would beat Wakefield. And do you know what? I was right on 2 accounts. Danny Brough got sin-binned. I always question that.
With 5 minutes left.
Hold on. Hey, listen, how long is a game? It proved out with Wilkis and Rovers with the last 6 seconds. And secondly, all about attitude. Did they have the right attitude? No, they didn't. London played well. And one thing to show, when you look at attitude, you look at character, London went down twice by 12 points. Tell you what, London top 5.
Don't rule.
If you're listening, David Hughes.
Every London
pressure.
fan has just gone, oh, we're going to get relegated now. We're going to get relegated.
No pressure, David Hughes.
After such a great weekend. And now, John, that's it. They're knackered. They're like, I'll be playing next week. I'll be playing.
Yeah. You're looking pretty good. You've been benching, haven't you?
No, I'm breathing in.
Hey, listen, hold on. By the way, happy birthday to my grandson Isaac. He's 6 today. That shirt won't fit him. That's what I'm going to say. That shirt
I don't
won't
know how
fit.
big Tom Spencer gets it on. It's his shirt.
It won't fit my grandson who's 6 today. And Isaac, many happy returns, Isaac, as well. But tell you what, you look impressive. Ain't working out. Are you doing a bit?
Why are you all taking the Mickey? Move on.
I've been honest.
Apparently, Wakefield lost because of the 4G pitch as well.
Right,
Which I understand was Witness's excuse all last year, but...
Also, yeah, by the way, didn't I say that as well? The 4G pitch will play into London's hands.
Yeah, well, Chris has said Catalans by 10 score. What have you got to say about that?
Yeah, I got one wrong. Yeah, I got one wrong. But have a look at the rest of them.
I mean, a little bit of humility from the big man. He's got a few right, and he's
so humble,
isn't he?
Yeah, I got it wrong. You know, and they say what the Catalans were a massive disappointment. But one thing for sure, I think Castleford proved on Friday night that there is life without Luke Gale, isn't there? You know that the big players, certainly Matt Shane, took on the extra responsibility and was outstanding.
What a great weekend. You can get in touch, by the way, on Twitter at Forty20 Live. You can get in touch on the Facebook. You get in touch on YouTube. Lots of you doing exactly that. We'll get through some of those in a minute. I think it's fair to say, you know, on the field, and it's very rarely, John, the sport on the field lets us down, but it didn't let us down this week, did it?
No, it was a really, really good opening round. I think it's been a lot of anticipation, you know, new beginnings and new rules, new players, a lot of hype, a lot of Robert Elston trying to spin that things are great, but overall it was a great opening round, and the action on the field I think was an improvement from what we saw last year. I think the reduced interchange and the new rules have been really good, and then some of the players, I mean Blake Austin was fantastic on Saturday night, and Kevin Nagama absolutely embarrassing Dan Sargentson in the second minute. I mean, that was just pure class, that try.
Yeah, it was. I felt it was like me trying to tackle him. I mean, to be fair to Dan, he came back and he got stuck in. But it was, an impressive start. But I don't want to put a down rate crowd-wise, you know. no real improvement. I saw you were doing some number crunching over the
Yeah,
weekend. There's no real improvement.
I think there overall. I think we were 68 people down, but there actually is improvement because you swap Widnes, who I think last year, I'm not exact, but about 4,500 their opening game. London's was 2,100, so we would have been up by about 2,000, and there were bigger crowds at St Helens compared to last year round, and Warrington, and Hull Power. So.
But it is good to see, though, when you look at the telly, and this is what they'll be on about, when you see it and it's full. And it is, isn't it? It's great.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was at Salford. I think my numbers have been smashed. I was at Huddersfield on Friday, so there were 1,500 Salford there. I thought it was a fair, maybe 1,200 might be nearer. But they didn't half contribute to the atmosphere. They were there making loads of noise. I said to Ian Watson, you get criticised for your crowds. I said, they're all here tonight. And he said, it's great. Want them all there on next weekend. They play London. But it doesn't half add to the atmosphere when there are away fans there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was at the derby, and it was snowing and sleeting and everything, but it was nearly, it was the biggest. I think it was the stadium record.
Yes, it was.
It was a great, that derby was really entertaining, and that it adds to it when you've got a full stadium.
Yeah. What are people talking about on social media, Rich, before we get stuck into
many various things. A lot of people want to stick the boot into Leeds because hashtag we all hate Leeds.
As much
you know what?
As much as I want to
You know what? Right, there've been loads there on social media. First thing it says, anyone who sticks into Leeds, Rich, Wakefield were rubbish as well. So let's, come on, come on.
Leeds have played one meaningful friendly. Is that it? They played against Cats.
So Wakefield, didn't they? Boxing.
Oh yeah, Boxing Day though, Gary. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Hey, listen, I'm not going to defend Leeds. I can reassure you. But
we'll talk about that in a little bit.
So I'm not going to defend Leeds.
I'm going to defend Leeds to an extent. G3440, not his real name, says let's get into Leeds. 3 new superstars that don't like the cold. Well, 1 game in, we said.
But all the cold.
Well, no, all the predictions this year have been based on how you think Leeds and Wigan will react to A, having new coaches, B, losing key players, C, adding players. We're a week in.
Yeah. They were always going to start slowly, I thought.
They're a week in and they're playing against a team that a lot of people are picking to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
And who made the grand final
as I said at the weekend, they could have gone there, played out of the skin and still got beat, couldn't they?
Yeah, but listen, when you look at the scoreline, 26-6, Warrington took the foot off the gas. Leeds got a consolation try, which it was a bouncing ball, which the Warrington players didn't react to. So hey, listen, I'm a Leeds fan, and the Leeds fans who were contacted.
I thought you were a Hull fan. You said last week.
I'm Leeds first and Hull second.
You had a good weekend on that front.
You know exactly what I said. I want Leeds to win everything. If they don't, I want Hull to win everything. So stop trying to contradict things, Mr. Wilson. But the Leeds fans who I've been speaking to over the weekend, look at the show. The first game, they didn't put a marker down. They've not excited the Leeds fans. Not excited them one little bit. I'm telling you, mate. Listen. We're all right saying it's early days.
Well, they've only got a Wigan this week.
Well, exactly. And then we got Salford. Then we got St Helens. So after four rounds, with Wigan with I'd say Wigan will beat Leeds on Friday night. So after 4 games,
I think then they play Wakefield, don't they?
That
could be a relegation decider.
Exactly, it could be a bottom 4 decider from there. So what I'm getting fed up with already is, Leeds will need time. Well, I tell you what. Come end of May, come June time. There might not be enough time.
It's game 1.
The other thing is, have people forgotten how bad Leeds were last year?
Yeah,
they were rubbish.
Yeah.
Right, okay, then. Right, well let's. Oh, by the way, I just want to say to the player here yesterday, Will Hope, Sheffield and Swinton, double leg fracture after 25 seconds. From all of us here, make sure you get a speedy recovery, will you? And I say, obviously, he'll go for the season there, but a speedy recovery. But when you look at that Leeds performance, the forwards got absolutely smashed. And I know from a half-back's point of view, your half-backs can't really build anything behind a beaten pack, but also as well, from even in the second half, the half-backs wouldn't do anything. And in the first half, to miss a kick to the sideline, and then secondly, which is absolutely criminal for any half-back, when a front rower gets caught on the 5th tackle in the opposition 22, like Alexi did, and there's no blame on Alexi there whatsoever, that is just total lack of confidence and in communication. And then thirdly, the Leeds backs, and I know we've had arguments about this from a point of view, bring the ball away from your own line. Right then, if we're looking to play open attractive football and maybe score tries 40, 50 yards out, how the hell are we going to do that? First of all, when we're not creating anything from the halfbacks or the communication-wise, and then secondly, they're all being used as battering rams. And that Conrad Hurrell on Saturday night, if he's going to be used how he was used, he might as well go into the second row because it's not fair on him. So it just tells me we're going to be playing as battering rams, maybe play off the back of penalties to get the right field position. Not good enough for Leeds. And don't tell me it's only one game in.
I hope Leeds get stuff.
I did say this to you a few weeks ago that Lola Heed is not an organiser. He's not a 7.
Well, Myler's not an organiser, so who's going to do it then?
Well, that's
who's going to do it?
Yeah,
Who's
I
going to
think
do it?
Lola Heed's best football in the NRL was either at fullback or in the centres.
Well, hold on.
I think he can play 6, but you can't have 2 6s.
Is the problem for Leeds? Do they need a drink water type guy?
I think
they do.
Or Maguire type.
Yeah, exactly.
Where can they get one of them, John?
No, they like to do well anyway. But the fact of the matter is, if nobody at Leeds can see now that Richie Myler's not an organiser, Richie Myler is a guy who feeds the ball and is a support player. And when I was watching him in the second half, looking to organise, one thing for sure, what you don't do, you don't tell the opposition where you're going. And it's like that telling his players that we're going there, we're going there. Don't point and tell them. Don't tell them.
Don't tell him, Pike.
Do you know what I mean? And then, look, if you're saying he's not an organiser, I've not seen much of him, to be honest with you, from there. And he has got to be told, you are the organiser, you're the support player, because if not, I'll tell you, it's going to be a long, hard season for us Leeds fans.
Is Rich right in the fact that they were a team that finished in the bottom 4 and was struggling? Really did struggle. They've spent money, they've gone big, Merrin. Interesting comment on social media from someone at a Super League club in a high position about Trent Merrin's performance at the weekend. I think that, I'm not going to mention who it was or which club it was, but I've got a feeling that might bite them on the backside going forward. I thought it was a really classless tweet about Merrin. One game into his Super League career, just saying what a waste of me stealing a living, basically, which I think is a bit harsh one game in. But have they basically just gone and thrown money at key players who might not necessarily be the best players for Leeds?
Well, Merrin, as a forward, he's still got plenty of miles left in the tank.
Yeah, look, it'll be fine. That's what I think that tweet was a poor tweet.
So I think that's a little bit too early yet. But my concern is, and as I'm saying, and I'll keep saying it, I ain't leaving it alone. It's like with the Matt Snead situation at Hull. I'm not leaving it alone with Richie Myler. They have to be told, you're the support player and you're the creator, because if not, even Lohea, when he was looking to create, and it wasn't very often, by the way, it was too close to the book area. He's literally 5 yards away from there. You have a look at Blake Austin. You have a look at where he stood. And when I talk about the right combination with halfbacks, Patton was just playing as a support player. I mean, a support player, not supporting every break what was made, but a support player by handing the ball on. And Blake Austin, when you watch him, he doesn't want to be involved in every set of 6. No, because he's plotting. And
he's a runner of the football.
Exactly.
He's not going to be running every set.
Yeah, but John, this is what I'm saying.
What did you make of his performance, Austin?
I thought it was outstanding.
Yeah.
I thought it was outstanding. He's had one game when the players in the pre-season against Widnes. I thought it was absolutely outstanding. But what he's doing, like all quality number 6s will do, they are plotting. They are plotting. Every time he wanted the ball, he got it, and he caused havoc. He's only going to get better. They only took the foot off the gas in the second half. If they would have kept going, they would have got 40 or 50 against Leeds. But they will be very, very satisfied with that combination. Him as a support player pattern, good kicking game as well. When he wanted to dominate, he dominated for around 5 or 6 minutes of the keep harping on. But Blake Austin, every time he got that ball, how wide was he away from the ruck area? Dominant quality player.
Because we do deal in knee-jerk reactions.
Hashtag Chester out.
Hashtag Chester out. If you want.
Hashtag London 5th.
Hashtag London top 5.
Oh, no.
So no, they could be top. They could be first.
Jimmy Kynors, Mitch Garbett, Danny Maguire.
Oh, Mitch Garbett did have a blinder on Friday
Look,
night. He was sensational.
I want to say on this, I thought Garbett was Leeds' best forward. All right, he had injury troubles last year, and clearly there's been a personality clash somewhere, and they wanted him out of the club. I'm surprised a bigger club didn't go for Garbett. We've seen him. I forget when he played. He's been aggressive. I think about being against Wigan last year. He came on and he was outstanding. They need forwards like that. I don't think they've got a better forward than him. He's gone. Kynhorst. Right, all right, they've got Hurrell. But at the time they agreed to let him go, they weren't signing Conrad Hurrell. I think he's been messed about. Whether that's by McDermott or whoever else, he's been messed about.
But what about Maguire?
And
Let Maguire go.
This is it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't get any of those decisions. And when we talk about players recruiting. I think Rovers have recruited really well. You know, we've had it on, haven't we, the Hull fans saying, if Hull KR had signed the players we'd have signed, we'd be laughing at Hull KR. We're looking at their signings going, why aren't we signing those players? We'll talk about that game in a bit, but you go back knee-jerk reaction. I think they are 3 quality signings, and it's as simple as that. And if they stay fit, they'll do a good job at Hull Kingston Rovers.
And by the way, another lad who came off the bench, well, there was 2 of them. James Greenwood, how good was he? The impact he made, but also as well, Danny Addy. Even though they came on for around about 6-7 minutes or so, he made a big difference. He'll be like a new player for him because we know
Tim Sheens is a huge fan. He complimented Danny after.
Exactly, we know exactly what happened with Danny Addy last year. He'll be like a new signing. He's fresh. Say, okay, at home they'll make it a fortress.
Still got Quinlan and Lunt to come out. I think that hooker area is a bit of a area of concern because George Lawler, really good defender, but not particularly creative with the ball. But Sean Lunt comes back and gets back to his best.
Might be a while though.
Yeah, but also as well, also again, when we keep saying it'll take a bit of time, I didn't see Drinkwater and Maguire take a bit of time with their combination. I didn't see Patton and Austin a bit of time to take a combination. I'll tell you, if people keep saying to me about Loaya and Miley, it'll take time. I'll tell you what, come May, June time, it'll be too late. It'll be too late.
Is that because of what exactly you said earlier? They've got defined roles.
Of course it is.
Patton and Austin know what they're doing.
And you know, but what have Miley and Loaya been doing in pre-season? One's been eating KFC, one's been eating McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Have they not been talking to each other? Have they not been on the training paddock saying, here, you're the first man, I'm the second man. We'll share the role. You know what your role is, I know what my role is. It's easy, doesn't it? It's called communication.
Fair enough.
Communication.
If you want to communicate with the show, if you want to communicate with the show, you can do on Twitter at Forty20 Live, YouTube and Facebook. What's happening, Rich?
Elsewhere in the world, we mentioned London earlier, and GJB82, wish people had proper names. Those are like Russian bots. Heard the London result mentioned on the Breakfast Sports Bulletin for Absolute Radio. National broadcaster, southern based and primarily music focused. Little things. ...
Yeah.
Little things.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a shame those London fans can't watch their highlights tonight on national television because it's only available in the north. But onwards. And the Women's Super League, which has the football one, which has their show on nationwide, they don't have any teams in Yorkshire in. So, really, BBC in the North should opt out and show a repeat of One Man and His Dog or Last and Summer Line or something, because we're not interested. Match on together.
Just because Wakefield lost. This is what happens.
We've not got into Lineker yet. Good on Neil. Marching on together says Warrington lost 4 of their 6 first games last season.
Yeah, that's a good point. Not to the final.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what then. After 4 games with Leeds, we'll see. We've got Wigan. I'll tell you what now, impressive with Salford. And then we've got St Talented all the way from home. And you two will be loving it, because Leeds are results and you two will be loving it.
Not me, Gary. I'm a Leeds player, you know that.
Oh, we're a London show.
Talking
on dual reg.
Talking about pressure though, Lee Radford, 12 losses in a row now, and they go to Cass. They go to the jungle.
No, they've got Cass at home, haven't they?
Yeah, the Cass at home.
Is that Cass at home? Sorry, all right. Still, that's...
They've got some tough games coming up. I want to mention this because Radders, after the game, I'm happy with how they played. They needed to play like a dog's dinner and win. It didn't matter how they played. No one's bothered, mate. You've lost 12 games on the spin. He is under pressure.
He said I was at the game. He said we started really well. They fluffed the kickoff. They almost conceded. They started terribly. Hull KR went all over them. They only got the lead because of a couple of Hull KR errors. They played a lot better in the second half and defended really well, but I don't think they are missing a lot of players, but they didn't play well.
Well, I won't be the sure, and again, I got a bit of stick when it was announced that Westbrook was playing number 6. Now let me put this straight. I didn't say Westbrook was a bad rugby league player. Westbrook is a good rugby league player.
Back row.
Yeah, but he's on number 6. Yeah. You know, and I know exactly what I said. It's laughable that Westbrook is playing number 6. That is not Danny Westbrook's fault.
No,
not their fault. It's the whole system. Okay, they've got Kelly out and Connor too. But I tell you what, the leg one got London, didn't they? In Jordan Abdul. If Abdul had still been at Hull and Connor and Kelly had played on Friday night, well, they would have won because the amount of field position what they had, and he would rather said it himself, a bit clunky in attack. Yeah,
but I'm not being rude though. Is that not their problem? Even when we've mentioned this before about the lack of creativity involved in that team.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying there. So don't be blaming Don't be blaming anybody else except yourselves. You know, and I'd say, Danny, and I'd say, I'll say, I didn't say that he's a bad rugby league player. It was laughable that they're playing him at number 6.
I must admit, I thought I read your tweet that said Danny Washbrook at number 6. I'd have asked if they, I'd have played if they would have asked.
Yeah, well, what does that tell you? What does that tell you?
I don't know. What are you telling me?
It doesn't say he's a bad rugby league player. He's a bad number 6. And by the way, as well, a tweet here. What I got
you
here.
Haven't got Twitter on there.
And also,
you haven't got Twitter on there.
Also, by the way, it was from a priest. It was from a priest.
What, a man of the cloth?
Yeah,
being abused.
It was a priest. Don't worry about that. And I say,
what was it, Father Ted?
He said something like, "At least Washy puts loyalty before pound notes." I'm sick. I'm sick. Yeah, I'm sick.
Is this another one of your fake accounts?
I'm sick. Yeah, and it came from a priest, right? It came from a priest, and I think the reply, and I tweeted back just to clarify. I'm being called disloyal and greedy by a priest, and he said no, he was just calling Washbrook loyal. I said, what about the reference to money? He hasn't replied and deleted the original tweet. Very amusing. Well, let me just tell you this about when you talk about money.
I didn't know you were so technically
let me tell you about the money with Hull FC then, right? First of all, me and Lee Crooks didn't want to leave Hull, right? They were skint. They'd lost the ambition. It was total bad man management. They're about 500, and I've said this before, and I'm just going to say it for the last time. They're about £500,000 in the rubbish, right? Me and Lee Crooks, right? 150 and 178, which makes around about 320 odd grand. What they paid us in our contracts and our salaries were just over 40 grand. So they made literally around about £295,000 out of me and Lee Crooks. And by the way, when you talk about loyalty, the money didn't even go to the club. That's not my fault. That is not Lee Crooks' fault. So don't be talking about me and loyalty about with the money with Hull FC. Because myself and Lee Crooks, with what we got paid, we made that club £295,000. And by the way, back in 1987, which is a lot of money.
Shut up,
there we go.
Shut up, Judas.
There we go.
Shut up, Judas. Judas.
So, Hull fans. So, I did not say Danny Washbrook is a bad rugby league player. It was laughable. It was picked at number 6. Hull FC, the massive club, I've got a number 6 to play to cover.
Conference, were you like Robbie Keane? Did you say, I've always dreamed of playing for this club? Did you do that when you went to Leeds?
It was a dream of
mine
to play for LA Galaxy. I've always wanted to play for Leeds. I've always wanted to play for Bramley. I've always wanted to play for Huddersfield. Did you do that when you went into the press conference?
No, not at all. Why should I?
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, let it go, Gary. Let it go.
I'm not getting it. Yeah, but
30 odd years ago, let it go.
Oh, no, they would have let it go. I didn't skim the
You're the one rising to the bait, aren't you? If you're on social media giving it out.
Hold on. When we pull up at the Hull ground, what do you do?
I get out and walk. I don't want to be seen anywhere near you.
Yeah. No, the Hull fans want to let it go. It's 32 years now.
Oh, is it? Not that you counted.
32
Not
years.
That you counted.
32 years.
What's happening 32 years?
Anyway, 32 years. But by the way, Hulkiston Rovers, when we talk about every what was it? Every minute counts 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Tell you what, 6 seconds to go. Boy, oh boy, sensational.
I put the kiss of death on him with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't delete it.
It didn't age well.
But look, they did not look like they were winning that game. The old up and under, Hail Mary, no worked. But yeah, I learned the commentator's curse. Yeah.
Yes, it's not easy, is it? But no, good. What's happening?
Every second counts. It's all good. What else happened in Super League this weekend? Apparently there's some naughtiness at Ealing yesterday.
Involving the Wakefield fans. Yeah, I understand this.
What did you do, Rich?
Well, I wasn't there for a start. Which is probably why...
I'm surprised Danny Brook being blamed for that as well.
Someone did have a go at me on social media for not going. So I've got other things to do. Can't just go watch Rugby League all the time, especially not getting paid. So yeah, well, hopefully if anyone did do anything bad, they get kicked out.
And don't bother.
Don't really.
I'm sure if Mr. Carter finds out who it was,
well, what's happened? What's going on?
I think they
we
were
don't know.
misbehaving.
And people, stop taking fireworks and flares to games.
Yeah, that
You're
is.
not German
South
football
America.
fans.
Yeah,
come on.
It's naff.
It's not big. It's not clever.
No, it's not.
You just make yourself look like.
Well, the Wakefield fans have done that. Casford and Michael Carter said it. You know, he doesn't want this sort of behaviour, does he?
No, they don't need it. They don't need it. They ain't got enough money to be throwing around getting fined.
People can't handle pop. Simple as that.
You drink a lot of pop.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Don't you?
That's true. Elsewhere in Super League this weekend, we need to talk about Salford because you mentioned they took all their fans, as you say, to Huddersfield, which caused a great argument on Twitter between Huddersfield fans and Salford fans about how many were actually there. I'm thinking, this is two bald men fighting over a comb.
You know what I was actually
doesn't matter.
You know what I was going to do? I was actually going to inflate the picture and count the seats, and then I would have known how many were there. But I thought, you know what, I'm not bothered. It's one of them. You think, is it 1,000? Is it 50? I'll put 1,500. It looks better. They made loads of noise. It was great support. We've said that, haven't we? Wherever we've been, if they could double that crowd, that'd be a hell of a place to go, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But they they were fantastic. I know Huddersfield. I saw the team news, and I thought, well, Huddersfield could be in a bit of trouble here. But I thought Salford were very, very good. They missed. Sowie scored a try early, and then he went off with a rib problem. He's going to be out for at least a week or two, I think, isn't he? But they were brilliant. That left edge. You know, you look there, Hastings, he's got Evans out the back, he's got Josh Jones, who's good, Sow, and then Ken Seal on the wing. I mean, that's some left edge. They're going to score tries against anyone, I think. I don't know, what do you think?
No, definitely. If they stay fit.
That's the big thing.
They've only got 23, 24 players, but their first 17 is a good team.
If they'd have had the injuries Huddersfield have had, they would have got battered the other night, but they didn't. And they've got, a first choice half-back pairing that I think... Well, I'll tell you what, you put one of them at Leeds, they're a better team, aren't they? If Louis or Hastings signed at Leeds, they're a better team instantly.
If Hastings was at Leeds organising, we've had out, and that's what he's the main man. And I saw the tries myself for highlights, and very, very impressive. Everybody knew exactly what they're doing, their own individual roles, and then the role as a team collectively. And again, it's another one I tipped Salford to beat Huddersfield quite easy. So it's another one for the legend from there for the first week. So I tell you what. We've got a top of the table class next week between Salford and London.
That last try that Salford scored though. I mean, I know the game was over, but Matangi goes to kick the ball air swings.
Oh yeah.
Well, it looked like a carry-on film, didn't it? You know, I didn't know if it was Sidney James or Kenneth Williams.
Under five game,
absolute shocking, wasn't it? Yeah. You know, and I would imagine that'll be shown in video from there. I would imagine. I don't think he'll be playing this week.
No. Look, he's a prop forward chasing. I think you look at it. He was a prop chasing back. You look at that side of it rather.
It didn't matter. It was like full time. It didn't matter, but it was.
What mattered was every time they went to the left hand side, we got numbered up wrong.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing.
And as you mentioned, Evans, around the back, he looked very, very impressive, didn't he?
Yeah. 2 tries in 2 minutes, won them the game. Look, he's against an understrength Huddersfield. As much as we can't get carried away that
who did they have missing? Well, they have.
McGilvery, Cudjoe, no Gaskill. No Clough, no Kumatai. They had, I think there was 8 of their first, probably 17 didn't play.
What's wrong with them?
Injuries.
I don't know. Injured, I presume.
Yeah.
What, from a game? Or
pre-season, yeah. I think we were talking about halfbacks, though, and clubs letting halfbacks go. You look at Huddersfield, they let Jordan Rankin go. He can play in the halves.
Yeah.
They let, who was it? Was it Ollie Russell?
Yeah.
And the
Brough
young kid, and Brough, and the young kid debuted against Salford.
Yeah, he actually played okay.
I know, but I mean, you've got 3 more experienced halves.
Yeah. Well, that.
Yeah.
Is that the salary cap though? Because they got rid of Brough for whatever.
Line moved there with Russell. That's not salary cap.
No, fair enough.
He's a good player, that Russell. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, he kicked Leeds all over the park ahead in the last year, won the game, right? I'm with you. Maybe he's one, but I think there'll be a recall on it, will there? Maybe.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
I'm thinking he wasn't envisaging such an injury list. I mean, he's actually said, "Look, everyone gets injuries. It's just a shame for us we've got before the season starts."
But also, again, from Salford's point, Ian Watson, he just likes the game played the right way, doesn't he?
He's a great coach.
And as you mentioned, if they can keep him fit, then I tell you, they'll be very impressive.
Well,
play the right
was
way.
it 2 years ago where they got loads of points on the board early and then they ran out of steam and ran out of numbers? You get the feeling they might be aiming to do that again this time.
It's interesting, the bookmakers had Ian Watson as the favourite to be the first coach to leave his post.
Yeah.
Odd.
The only way Ian Watson will leave Salford is if somebody else comes in for him. Salford won't sack him. Doing too good a job. Not just on the field, but off the field as well. You know, we know the situations off the field, and he doesn't panic. He doesn't moan. Just gets on with it. Goes to Salford every day of the week with a smile on his face, and gets the best out of the players. That's not good coaching. That's just sensational man management. It is.
It is. Very good.
Catalans apparently weren't very impressive against Castleford. Obviously, they've made plenty of big signings in the off-season. I guess we give them the benefit of the doubt. We do for Leeds as well. Still.
Yeah, it's early days, isn't it? You know, it's not easy. So again, they could have got to Castle and played well and got beat.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll contradict that again. You know, last year, Catalans, we know what they did in the Cup, fantastic, and we know what they did from Easter, brilliant. They blame that on pre-season because they didn't have anybody there because of the World Cup. Yeah. This time, they've had everybody there nice and early. They've had everybody there training. I'm not having that as an excuse.
Didn't fancy the cold?
I'm not having it. I'm not having
one
that.
game, Gary.
Listen, but you've got to put a marker down straight away. It's as simple as that. And that performance, even though Casper played well, and I said Max Shane, he took the lead, and the young kid Truman again, just been dictating from there. But the big names and the quality players what Catalans had, they should have put a far better show.
You talk about putting a marker down. St Helens were quite good on Thursday, but last year, round 1, they flogged Cass, ran out of puff at the end of the season. So, do you put your marker down now, or do you try and peak?
Well, to be honest with you, St Helens got beat by 2 better sides on the day. Catalans hammered them, they battered their forwards in the first half, and Warrington did exactly the same. Wasn't Mark because they were tired.
But they've got a history. I think it's at 6 semi-finals they've lost now. Yeah, they've got a problem in performing in big games.
It's called handling pressure. That's what it is.
Fair dues. Go on, let's get through some social media then.
Yes.
I think plenty happening, so let's
we haven't
dig it out.
really spoken about Saints and Wigan yet, but we will in a moment.
We will do a bit, definitely, of course.
Let's drop down to the Championship because it's a vibrant competition. When's that programme going to be launched then?
I don't know.
We were told about
I don't know.
Championship launch their
magazine programme. Hosting it as well.
Oh, have you?
Yes, I have.
Very good. Some great crowds, by the way, in the Championship yesterday. There was 6,000 at Bradford. So then beat Featherstone. 4,000 plus at Widnes. Now, I said, actually, when Widnes got relegated, I don't think, if they start winning, their crowds would be any lower than the Wooded Super League. Because I think the fans were just getting sick of them getting beaten. 4,283 against Halifax.
The bogeyman's left as well, hasn't he? So
yes, Mr. Rule, he's gone.
All over again.
2,500 at York. I didn't watch it yesterday, I was working, but understand they were impressive. Well, let's get through the social media.
We had a Widnes fan that's lost already, saying how great it was to see. Oh, here we go, Alan. Widnes had 10 players in the squad yesterday that came through the academy. Very good for the future. I had another one as well talking about how great it was to see 4,000 there, as you say, the big crowd there yesterday at Widnes against Halifax. And that's a good win, isn't it? Obviously, we know Halifax are a decent side. William, it was positivity. He's back at Widnes. Positive Rugby League, Kashner. Well over 4,000 people there, players interacting with the fans, and a coach that tells them to pass. Not like the one man up the middle Dross served up for the previous regime.
Interesting. We moan about superstars in sport. How good was Gelling?
Yeah.
Before and during the game.
Yeah.
You know, for those that don't know, he did a great video, didn't he, saying get down, a bit of a Mickey Tate video, get out of the game today. And then a young man went and asked him for his photo when he was coming off as subbed off. And he went and sat with him and watched the rest of the game in the stand. Now, I appreciate he ain't going to be able to do that every week, but, you know, that kid's just, it's made his year, right, I think. You know, I think his heroes sat next to him.
Yeah, I think the RFL should be employing him to do some marketing because he knows he knows to get out there, doesn't he, and engage. Great to see. You know. Yeah.
Brilliant. That's what it's about, isn't it? I mean, it's mad, isn't it, Gelling? But I mean, a lot of people thought there's no way he's going to stay at Widnes. He has stayed at Widnes, and at that level, Gary, he's going to win him a lot of games.
And the centre partner as well, they're good. If they get the right service, and they're going to absolutely cause havoc. So I would imagine the wingers outside them will be delighted at the quality centres they've got because the service they're going to get is going to be sensational. So you would say the Widnes wingers, you'll be looking at maybe 20 tries a piece plus for this season. But yeah, the Widnes fans have turned out, and I agree with you, Mark. You know, they want to see a winning side. If they see a winning side, they'll come back. Again, Bradford, you know, they're back in the Championship, 6,000 from there. Yeah, tremendous support. And if they're winning, people will come and watch them.
Yeah. Well, now that the RFL and Super League have split, of course, the RFL can use Anthony Gelling as their man of the man of the people. He's the man of the people.
He is.
So he calls himself. He could be the superstar of the Championship.
Yeah. I'm not too sure the Widnes Tourist Board would have been happy about his comment at the end, but I think they'll let him off.
I didn't see that, but but in fairness, we've all been to Widnes.
Yeah.
All these northern towns are the same. We're not
Don't do a Sam Tompkins, Rich.
Move on, Richie. Move on.
Some Wakefield's just been moaning about London Stadium. Have they been to Bellevue recently? It looks better in the 1960s in black and white. Sandy is part of Toronto's away fans.
Yes. She's an ambassador, isn't she?
She is. She gets a special hat.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone at York for their great hospitality. We have been to many UK stadiums, and I can say this is a special place. I'm going to move out of it soon. Your fans were amazing and definitely created a fun atmosphere. You should be proud of your players. They played a tough game. Canadian flag, hearts, wolf, emoji.
Good win. Trouble maybe ahead though, John. You broke a story overnight last night. Not
Mr. Toronto hater.
they've not paid for a transfer. So I mean, what's going to happen here? Well, tell everyone what the story is and what you expect is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to know what's going to happen, but Salford have started legal action against Toronto to recoup the fee that they should have got for Gareth O'Brien. Yeah, from March last year. So yeah, it's not good.
It's not great, that is it?
No, I mean there does seem to be a trend. I mean obviously Michael Carter, the Wakefield owner, went public when he didn't get the money for Mason Caton-Brown. I know Warrington had to chase very hard for the money for Joe Westerman. And obviously there was the late payment to players and staff in December, which then there was an announcement of a £5 million investment for this season. So it's not a good look, essentially. Yeah.
No. But on the field, did you watch it, Legend?
Yeah, I watched
it.
Yeah, York were very good. They just like that quality, mate. To be honest with you, in attacking in the right field position from there. But Toronto, they are a team, and the defence was very, very good. They knew it was going to be pretty hard. York were impressive. They will certainly at home. They will trouble more sides when they get them down there at Bootham Credit. But yeah, the effort, commitment, enthusiasm, not an issue. Just a lack of quality attack from their point of view. But the Toronto look a good side, are a good side, and what I saw yesterday, I'm not changing my mind that they'll finish top of the league and get promoted.
That defence that York did was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I tweeted like it was like a State of Origin game because they held about 5 times. I think they held Toronto up in goal. They just would not. Be beaten, and that James Ford.
Exactly. That's what Ford has done, and they say he's not just a coach who likes to play the right way as well, Johnny. He's got the lads from a point of view where if we do throw the ball around and we do cough it up early, then we know we've got to defend. And boy oh boy did they defend yesterday. Yeah. And I tell you what, Ben Cockayne, where he was all over the place, wasn't he? He must have covered every blade of grass twice. You know, from a point of view from his commitment. But no, York were outstanding. Just over 2,000 people from there. And I say they will make their home fixtures a fortress, and nobody, when they go there, will have an easy game.
We've been told off because we mentioned Lee and having.
Oh no, we're gonna come. Yeah, 2987. Yeah, we're gonna come to that. Don't we? I actually tweeted. Well, we'll start off. I tweeted last night. Remember when Derek Beaumont went on about, oh look at all these NRL and Super League players. I think I said my heart sank. I think yours did as well. You look at yesterday, they've gone and signed some old boys, people who know what that club's about.
Absolutely.
Everyone thinks Toulouse will go there and kick their backside, and lo and behold, Lee win. You know, brilliant. There's a lot to be said for knowing what that.
And absolutely, also as well, a quick get well soon, Mike Latham as well, because Mike, he was taken over the weekend. He's recovered now, but and the shirt presentation. But what they did at the shirt presentation as well, because they're getting it back now, where we want everybody to feel part of this club. We want homegrownness. So ex-players were at the shirt presentation. It was the ex-players who had played for Lee on many, many occasions, giving their shirts out from there. They've got the right spirit back from there. John Duffy is starting from the bottom right to the top. 2,900, nearly 3,000 from there. Good win against Toulouse. Good Toulouse side. Upwards and upwards for Lee.
We're talking championship though. That's the
Sheffield.
That's the result of the
round. Sheffield.
64.
Well, 1,200 there, which for them is I'm not being rude, I'm not being patronising.
That's probably the biggest crowd I think they've had at that the Olympic Park Stadium.
4 tries for Thackeray.
Yeah, reports on that they didn't have an ambulance there, which is concerning.
Have you been at Addercliff?
I've been past it.
It's not the nicest part.
No, it needs resolving though, doesn't it? Either way, that does. But yeah, 64-10. Swinton would be disappointed, I think, with that, obviously. But yeah, a bit of a statement for Sheffield.
Yeah. Well, considering how bad last year was, they only barely avoided relegation. That's a fantastic start. I mean, hopefully they can even push for maybe a top 5.
I think also as well, we were looking at the steeping hill at Batley as well. Barrow going down. I thought they would be undone from there, but Barrow again. Paul Cleary, he's another good British coach from there, and they got a great win at Batley. It's 18 years since they won there, so it's a great victory for them on the road.
And for all the talk of great crowds, 755 at Batley, you've got to be a disappointment not to get 4 figures on the opening day. But they'll open somewhere 3,000 here against Bradford 2 weeks ago.
What were they all Bradford fans?
Well, maybe they were.
In the made-up Yorkshire Cup.
Yeah, I can. It's gone now.
It's still better from Sunday.
I'm going to keep it up because I know people.
You're wearing this.
I hope to God they don't lose this week to St Helens.
I know I'm going to be there. It's not big.
Are you going, are you?
Yeah. Well, I'll try and get accredited. But it's difficult these days because everyone's a journalist or whatever. Or reporter, not a journalist. But you know, I'm going to try my best. Have we done all the? Have we been through all the games?
Well, we've given them all. Bradford, obviously, Featherstone, 17-16. Decent effort, I think, that from Fev, considering a lot of the players have just arrived. The coach has just arrived. I think that's a spirited effort. And maybe Bradford, on the back of that tough pre-season campaign, actually benefited from that because they've been involved in a couple of tough games and they just got over the top.
They played about 20 games in pre-season.
Yeah, as one of their players pointed out, and then didn't point out on social media. But no, they won. 6,000 there. You can see they're going to get some big crowds.
That's good to see. Yeah,
it is. That's excellent. Yeah.
When the sun comes out, it'll be nice in the bowl. At Odsal, the iconic Odsal Stadium.
You was at the Bulls yesterday, you say? Hospitality, freebies, were you?
No, I didn't go to the Bulls. I was
working. I thought you were at the Bulls.
I was working.
Right,
I'm surprised you weren't there. We all met.
Did I say your mate Nige?
Nige. Well, Nige there, were he?
Well, he sits
was
the
there.
bed.
Was he? Why didn't you go?
He was there. I had an afternoon off.
You had an afternoon off?
Afternoon off.
Got to hit
a lot of people interested why Nigel's got a box at Bradford. I mean, I can't
follow him.
I
can't follow him.
No,
I can't follow him. Don't worry about that. I'm having none of that.
You're a fan of his beard. You're a fan of his new beard.
Yeah, he's got a beard. Yeah, he's got a beard.
He was at the World Cup extravaganza last week.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is it like yours?
No,
it's silver and ginger.
A bit like mine. Yeah. All right, let's move on then. What else is happening on
Well, should we talk about the news?
Do you want to talk about the news? Or shall we talk about St Helens and Wigan first?
Let's talk about St Helens and Wigan because I forgot we hadn't talked about
You can kick off. Go on then.
Well, it was very exciting, wasn't it? And a bit like Leeds, Wigan were put on a hiding to nothing, weren't they? New coach, new players, lost on players, and there they are playing Saints, who were the best team of last season up until the semi-final. And Saints' new players have all seemingly bedded in very quickly. And Saints going to win Super League. Or Warrington, one of those two. So it's all good.
All right, what do you make of the game, John?
Yeah, really enjoyable game. Yeah, I think as Rich said, the Gama was really good. I thought Lockham Coot was good. Paulo was solid, and a great start because St Helens looked like they were going to run away with it. Wigan came back, tied up at half time, and some of the intensity of the hits, the defence. It was like it felt like a big game. It didn't feel like just another game. It was and I really, as a neutral, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great fare and a really big crowd there on what was it,
16,500.
-2, I think.
All right, leave Wigan's points out. Come on. What do you make of it, Ledge?
Well, that's what you get from a derby from there. He wasn't just for the 2 points. It was very purposeful, wasn't it? And great to see the big man back, Alex. He's outstanding, wasn't he? And Luke Thompson, boy oh boy. And the reason why Wigan got back in that game, they took the two best players off in Worms and Thompson, and Wigan get themselves back into it. I don't get this, honestly. I know, these resting period, but I just don't get it. If your two front rows are absolutely ripping in, causing havoc, why bring them off?
Maybe Worms there, I mean, they don't want to know he's not played for a hell of a long time.
It looked alright for me. It didn't look like he was blowing.
I bet it was sore on Friday morning.
Oh, yeah, it would have been, but he said it wasn't blowing. He was loving it out there, and Lachlan Coote as well. I'll tell you what, how impressive was he. His positional play was outstanding. He's bedding in nicely. The Gama, as you said, just dance around Sardison, but he recovered from that Sardison. But again, Farge and Lomax, that combination looked very, very impressive. Lomax was the support player. Farge taking charge. So the big problem now for Danny Richardson.
Surprised to see him get dropped. So.
Well, as everybody knows from last year, the massive support hire for Danny Richardson. But at the end of the season, again, he became a halfback who, instead of making things happen, he was waiting for things to happen. He was just waiting to kick the ball. I'm afraid to say he's under massive pressure now. There's no two ways about it. He's under massive pressure, and for Wigan, you'd say a lot in the Sean Wayne philosophy. Some of it, they get retained and from there, and they were unlucky at times. But I just felt as though with George Williams, he just confused things, and he's just too indecisive. And you're all right with it. At times he was double pumping. Then he was treble pumping, then he was quadruple pumping, and by the time he decided what to do, the back rows had gone through. So he was too indecisive on attack for me. So something to work on from there, but from a point of view, a neutral point of view, when you looked at the Wigan Saints, wasn't just for the 2 points, plenty of purpose in it, great crowd turned out, and well, I say you won't be ruling Wigan and St Helens out.
I'm going to say Wigan, despite the fact that they were up against it away from home, tough start. They were always in the game.
Yeah.
And that's what you get.
Well, this is what I'm saying about.
This is what I'm saying
again with the Sean Wayne philosophy. They'll play for the full 80. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
And Zach Hardwick was, fairly
Impressive.
solid. Yeah, I mean, he's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
get better the more games he plays, but yeah.
He looked
decent
quite
performance.
big, I thought.
Yeah, it looks as though he put a bit of timber on, but that's what they do at Wigan, don't they? They like that bulk and that size. But overall, for his first performance, he did okay.
I think a lot of
He
people say, "Oh, how well's he played?" I never thought he wouldn't play well. He's a good player. Whatever you think of him off the field,
Yeah.
he's a very
Oh,
good
yeah.
rugby league player, isn't he?
definitely.
The sad thing for us at Leeds that we've got on this Friday. The -2 points. They just got beat by Saints. The writing's on the wall for us, isn't it? This Friday night.
So positive.
Have we got a violin? We've got a lot of.
I'm not going to get no sympathy. I'm not going to get no sympathy from you anyway, am I?
I don't know.
Don't you like Leeds as well, John?
No, I don't mind Leeds.
Oh, right.
Broke me.
Yeah, well, I say I'm not going to get no sympathy from you, Mr. Wilson, or you, Mrs.
Of course you are.
Eh?
Of course you are.
Leeds
I'll console
and
you.
Wigan, a panel of teams everyone hates.
Yeah.
Console.
Who do you want to lose the least? That's not. It's not who do you want to win. It's who do you want to lose the least.
If Brian
Well,
Carney's
all right, I know
watching-
we'll be doing this predictions later, but I bet you're not predicting Leeds to win, are you?
If Brian Carney's
We're going
watching,
for an abandoned game.
if Brian Carney's watching, use that one on Friday. Oh, the game everyone wants to miss. Tommy says Joe Bullock impressed him on debut. He's a Wigan fan.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Gary's got the transfer news here. Hang on. There's rumours going around Widnes. They're in talks with Saints to take Danny Richardson on loan. Diddle-a-dun, diddle-a-dun, diddle-a-dun.
I think he's from Widnes originally, isn't he?
Not the same now.
No, it's a St. Helens lad, I think,
Is he?
Yeah.
Interesting. Needs to be playing though. He's only a young kid. He's only played 1 year, so he needs to learn. Keep learning, doesn't he?
Oh, well, it's his third year at the big time. He played, well, I think he played 2 games under Kieran Cunningham, and he binned him totally, didn't he? Blamed him for St. Helens playing boring, one man.
He blamed him for 5 drives.
Yeah, he blamed young Richardson, didn't he? But the pressure's on young Richardson now. It is.
Martin's on. Play acting by Wigan again around the ruck. Sampol needs to be cut out. Officials need to reverse the penalty.
What do we reckon about that? It's still there, isn't it? They all dive in, they're falling over. Tommy Luluwai, I tweeted on Thursday, channeling his inner Mo Salah as he fell over as someone walked past him. It was a disgrace, that.
Yeah, that
He
was
should have said, you know what, I'm not giving it. It was a penalty, but I'm not giving it because you
Well,
died.
the game's gone soft
Hold on.
because Liam Watts says in the paper. Game's gone soft.
Apparently, Watts was outstanding
sure he was.
on Friday night.
No, he's been outstanding since he's got the cast, hasn't he, to be honest? But saying that as well, I thought the referees on the TV games, the refereed quite well this weekend.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, they did.
Well, we don't bash referees anyway.
No,
so,
but yeah, they did. The refereed very well this weekend.
Good.
So, well done to the refs.
Yeah, good stuff.
Week 1.
So are you.
Richardson is on Witness, says everyone on YouTube.
Oh, there
he's
you
on
go.
with us.
All
There
of
you go.
YouTube watching. We're the #1 rugby league show on YouTube on a Monday night. At 6 o'clock.
We are. Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
Rob said something very funny about Wigan versus Leeds, and I think
I want to read it. What does it
I
say?
think Brian Carney will be using that one.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Not for broadcast, Rob, but we like it. Yeah, we're on a similar thing to you.
Someone saying Sky should shut up, and Tim saying Wigan will be better when Jared Salmon's back, which he will be back this week. Oh, was he? Did he
Two
have one
matches.
game? I thought he got
He
two
got
games,
two.
didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
two.
he what then? Bad news. Well, good news for Leeds. Bad news for Wigan.
Yes.
Someone is talking about the. Have we done all the rugby now?
Well, we'll do the stuff after 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, no, not that. We'll
Oh,
talk
go
about that. Other people making news this week. Andrew Chalmers.
Oh yes.
Um,
Yeah, he loves it. This
He
guy.
loves,
doesn't
he loves Wigan.
He loves
He
Wigan.
really
He's-
likes Flanagan.
He's to the Telegraph and Argus what Scully is to the whole Daily Mail.
He is. He is. He comes out with some
Bonkers
interesting
statements.
comments. Now,
Not entirely predictable statements. either.
what makes me laugh, right, when things are said like this, so I'll read it out to you in a minute, is the number of texts I get from people within the game. and everything that is said. I mean, for legal reasons, I can't go into it. But they don't. He's not a popular man. I don't think it'd be fair to say that, Mr. Chalmers. Ian Lenigan should step aside. He said he should resign in the wake of Super League champion salary cap breach. Wigan have been given a 2-point deduction, fined $5,000 for exceeding the salary cap in 2017. 6 payments totaling $14,700, which were not declared at the time. Lenigan is they're going to appeal it out of the Wigan. I'd be very surprised if they don't get that overturned. But writing in his column in the Bradford Telegraph and Argus, Chalmers said, "I know from our own salary cap returns that they are based on honesty and self-declaration. I am not sure how you can innocently underreport costs The average man in the street might conclude it's either willful dishonesty or at the very least sheer incompetence. Apparently Shaman Lenigan is taking personal responsibility for it, which is right and proper, and for which he deserves respect. He should now do the honourable thing and resign. Mr. Chalmers, I've been asked to ask you, if you're watching, your club made £600,000 loss last season. I think some very interested parties as to who's paid that money. That's just a question that I'm being asked to ask Mr. Chalmers.
Can I ask who owns the Bradford Bulls?
You just asked that question.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been called. What did I get called last time? A bigot or something? Was it that I got called for asking questions?
That's a question.
That's a genuine question. I've been told to ask. You lost £600,000 the Bulls lost last season on their accounts.
Speaking of Forty20
I think some of the comments about the cap stuff are valid, but what kind of I find puzzling is every week it's a rant at Elston, Lenigan, Super League, St Helens. So it's obviously it's an agenda. Because if it's every week, you know.
Well, as Toby said, maybe they want to stay in the Championship because he obviously hates Super League.
Well, if they do go up, there's not going to be a lot of love
I'll
from
tell you
them.
what, he won't be getting any hospitality when he goes to Solskjaer or Hull or anywhere else, or Wigan.
Listen, it's Nigel who gives me the hospitality, so I'm not really bothered, to be honest with you.
I think it was Mr. Kukash was barred from St Helens when he was in charge of Solver because him and McManus didn't get on, so maybe...
By the way, I got a message around about 5 o'clock regarding Marvin. Have you heard? Looking to buy a Rugby League club in Liverpool.
Cumbrian Lakers.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what we're going to talk about later?
Yeah, I don't see. Look, I don't see what business it is of his to come out and criticise like that. You know, I think Bradford need to be very well aware of where they've been in recent years. Now, I'm not saying that's Chalmers' fault,
because they're a separate
but they
club.
need to be a little bit more respectful of their place in the game at the minute. I think they're a team on the up. They don't want to be making enemies, and I think he's going out and making enemies. And I'm with you. If anything's going to go to a vote, anything like that, they're going to come off on the worst side of it. And he's just got to be. I think he's just got to be careful of that. That's my opinion.
If I were the chairman of the Bradford Bulls and I'd put together the squad I put together last year, with the coach I had last year, I'd be asking why we didn't go up as champions.
Yeah. Look, it's not a dig. You know, great. We've already mentioned they got 6,000 here yesterday. It's great things. I think those crowds are only going to get bigger. There's going to be some massive games coming up. Distasteful. I did contact Wigan for a comment, and I am assured Ian Lenigan will not be resigning. So never mind, Mr. Chalmers. Maybe next week.
I forgot to praise Barrow for winning because Neil said.
Oh,
praise
He's chief of the Paul Curry
I told
fan
Neil
club.
we'd praise Barrow.
Scott even got a name check in the report in the League Express.
Matt Shaw.
Who?
Matthew Shaw.
Who? Rugby League's Mr. Negative, he called me, or something like that the other week.
We'll get him in the dressing room anyway.
Well, yeah,
when he comes.
Someone asked me about TV view figures. They'll be out next week for this week, so we'll know next Monday how well all the TV programs are in terms of Toronto. And
I understand. I think Wigan, St Helens and Wigan was higher ratings on Thursday than it was equivalent last year. So the first game. So
yeah,
it's very good.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about Liverpool?
Yeah,
this is the biggest load of nonsense going, isn't it? Because this is
again. Where's this story being broken?
In the League Weekly by friend of the programme, Ross Heffenstall.
All right, go on then.
And a Scouser as well.
He is, isn't it?
Yeah, he's shifty.
We really should speak to him about.
Should not believe anything he writes.
Right.
Yeah.
You remember New York, who were selling T-shirts at the Magic Weekend who don't exist.
Right.
And they were the reason why Pyongyang pylons were born, because New York doesn't exist. So we rented a team where you can buy T-shirts. I can still buy T-shirts. I don't get any money from them. And now we've got the Nigerian Super League. Was it the Lagos Rhinos?
Yes.
Lagos Rhinos will play a game before Liverpool.
Yeah, of course they will.
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Where is Cumbrian Lakers? Why are people still listening to this man? He's a false messiah. We need him in the game, his media friends tell us.
Hold on, Rich. Hold on. We might want to go to Chester Races, me and Mark, this year. Hold on, Rich.
You get tickets.
You can buy
them.
You can buy them.
Where's the Cumbrian Lakers? He wants to take Liverpool to the top. What happened to taking Salford to the top?
Yeah, what?
Good to see Scully can be bought by invite to the rest.
That's a bit hard.
He's now best mates with Nige, isn't it? He'll be coming back next week with some propaganda.
Tiniest man in rugby league.
Yeah, he'll be coming back with some propaganda next week about Bradford. He'll be getting a message. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Rugby League, International Rugby League calendar's coming out soon. I want a 3 trip.
The calendar's out.
Is it correct?
They are event,
So what you're saying then? You're.
I'm sceptical.
It's who's it? Right, the Red.
Where are they going to play Liverpool anyway?
The controversial former
Enfield.
Red Devils owners partnered up.
I'm kidding.
The controversial Red Devils owner, former Red Devils owner. Come on, let's have a look. Has partnered up with Liverpool-based property magnate Luke Backhouse, so we understand what it's to buy. Witness.
Yeah.
And Andrew McHale, the founder of St Helens-based McHale Leisure. The millionaire trio were behind a recent bid to take control of Widnes Vikings following Steve O'Connor's decision to relinquish ownership of the club. However, no deal could be agreed, and a separate bid from Widnes travel agent Shea Sonny also fell through, sparking huge fears over the Vikings' future. There's a bit of a common theme here when it comes to Mr. Kukash, and this is not a criticism, it's a question. He could have bought the Bradford Bulls if he'd have put up the $250,000 that was the asking fee to buy it. He didn't put the money up. He keeps saying, I wanted to buy the club, and he was, as I understand it, he was offered the chance. There you go, it's £250,000. Do you want it? He never paid the money. Widnes couldn't agree a deal. Why couldn't he agree a deal? The 3 millionaires, why couldn't he agree a deal? If you want to buy the club, put the money in. You know, and then now, Cumbrian Lakers, what has anything even ever happened with that? And now, taking to Twitter, this is Mr. Mikhail, great meeting today, Liverpool RLFC is just taking a huge step to being formed. What? Where are they going to play in the Pennine League?
I can form a team. I've got a Pylons RLFC Twitter feed. I don't use it, but it's there. They've got a Liverpool RLFC Twitter feed. Brilliant. Well done. You've set up a Twitter account. Anyone can do that. I mean, it's a bloody club.
Yeah.
Nonsense. But yet people buy into this.
Accompanied by Liverpool FC's famous Liverbird badge. Did they ask to use that? Or
Well, I mean, it's the symbol of the city, so.
No.
But still, you're right. If it's in red.
So yeah, so do you think this is going to happen?
Come
on, John.
No comments.
No comment.
No,
Hold on, give me that one. Give me that one.
You get banned from that.
You don't come on this short silver fence.
I think Mr. Kukash called me a SHIT journalist, so I don't want to appear biased against his plans for Cumbrian Lakers / what was it? Was it English Bulldogs? He was going to enter a team in the NRL. Yeah, he was going to buy the Newcastle Knights.
Don't get me wrong, right? If he rocks up and they put a bid in and they put the money in, I just think he's had the chance to buy clubs and he hasn't bought them.
Mark, how many times did he get taken to court for not paying staff?
Well, there you go. There you go.
That says it all.
Yeah. Well, there you go then. There you go. Scully, we're not going to. Well, if we're going, we'll have to pay. Like I did last year when I paid.
No, well, I'm just going to say I'm just looking forward to the races.
Yeah, on TV, watch.
Andy loves the doc. We love Craig Murdoch. Does he count? But it's just nonsense. It just fills papers. And again, it's not knock on Ross. I like the story, but you know, it's just until he actually does something.
Yeah, you see, it's all talk, no action, isn't it?
We can all do it. You know, we can all say, "Oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that," but they don't do anything.
Yeah.
If it gets to the paper, it's great.
And will they get accepted at the NFL if they do get accepted?
Is Nigel going to do a feasibility study?
Nigel's here with a T. Scully will go get him.
Straight to
Scully will
Nigel.
go get him. Yes, Nigel, I'll be there in a minute, Nigel. Yes.
Best friends.
Who are you playing next week at home? Can I come and watch?
Love your beard.
I think
choke on it. Yeah.
I think in theory, well-backed professional club in Liverpool, like a Toronto style.
Your favourite team leads right
now.
Oh,
look at this! I mean,
world champions.
I'm an
old one.
Hold on, that's coffee. Now I don't drink coffee. Oh, it's tea. We're all right. It's just a bad colour. That's all right. Use that to paint the wall. This is unbelievable. This I should be getting psychological damages from I am Leeds players, yes, and I am in Phil's premises, so I can't really throw it out the window. That might not go down too well. So look, if you've got the money, but that's the thing. Are they going to get in? What league are they going to play in?
I think the idea, as Ross Story says anyway.
Sorry,
I haven't.
We really should have read it.
I'm not across it, but yeah, is to do a Toronto, so essentially, or a New York potential, League One and work your way up. So.
What are you going to buy Swinton as well? Do you want to
buy
Swinton?
Yeah.
Swinton, Bradford.
He had a meeting with Workington as well.
Yeah.
Can't be in Lakers, isn't that happening?
Yeah, no, it's not happening, is it? You had a meeting with the Workington people as well, which I don't know.
So yeah, so jury's out on that one. Jury's out.
Yeah, but I'm still available. Yeah. This joint might be out, but I'm still available for Chester races, Marwan. Okay.
But again, well, as has been pointed out in the last few
You
weeks,
sell your soul.
You just realised this.
Yeah, I know.
You just realised.
I'm still waiting for that part.
You wasn't saying that 2 years ago when we were loading it up.
Don't get me wrong. He's a very generous host. I'm going to say
that, yeah.
I've been twice, and he's a very generous host.
Well,
I paid and went under my own steam last year. No problem.
You didn't have to.
And you know what? He had loads of winners and all. I didn't back some of them. I was quite annoyed.
when we bring back Liverpool Highfield to come back, why don't they just apply to go straight into Super League? Because Super League called Super League. It would be funny now if they just stopped Bradford from going up if they got into the top position.
Stop being no.
Mr. Negative.
Yeah, Mr. Negative.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
No, I don't do Bulls Live anymore, so alright. Elsewhere, we're still not talking about him yet. We'll talk about him. Oh, it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah, go on. Let's crack on.
What do we say?
Ben Barber.
Ben Barber.
Right. Let's start with it. Right. The NRL have basically said he's been sacked by the Cowboys, which we know, and he's going to be barred. That's the word. John Story in the League Weekly. He's going to be barred from playing in the NRL. Now the RFL have come out and said, well, he's going to be barred from coming to England. Well, I wouldn't have thought that's their rule to make if he's coming to play in Super League. Now, what I must say at this point is, I haven't seen the video, and I do not in any way at all whatsoever condone what is alleged to have happened. Right, and it's quite clear it has happened. He's been sacked, and that's it. Right, but there is a very dangerous precedent, or there's a precedent about to be set. And Gav Carvell, chairman of the Rugby League Players Association, tweeted out that he should be going to jail. Well, my question to Gareth last night is, what happens if Barber turns up next week as a player in Super League, which might happen, and he joins the union? Gareth Carter, in my opinion, can't be making comments like that until legal process has been observed. So I'm not going to speak about it, but people saying he's going to get banned from coming to the UK, is that, how viable is that? And there are players in our competition that have been accused of the same thing. There are players that have been, many players that have been convicted of serious assault. You know, we could list 10 instantly. They're still welcome in our game. There are people that have, you know, we have a guy who's been in jail for a high-speed police chase, resisting arrest, and yet he's getting championed like he's
attacking police officers.
Yeah, he's been championed recently. That is the greatest gift to Rugby League, or redemption story. But yet, where does the line get drawn, and who draws the line? And are we going to say, right, well, if you've got a conviction, no, we're not having it? I will stress that I will stress that I, and no one on this show, condones what is alleged to have happened. Absolutely not, in no way. But I just wonder who becomes the person that says, well, you can come in, but you can't. Or you're not welcome, but you are. And I think that is a very dangerous precedent to set for our sport. And do we backdates? We talk about players' rehabilitation, etc., etc. If stories since it's happened, we understand that. Well, we can't talk about what has happened or what hasn't happened, but it looks like it's going to be surprising if he actually gets charged for it, and if he doesn't, then where do we stand?
The context is his partner, who he allegedly assaulted, doesn't want
to press charges,
which is essentially what allegedly happened in 2013 when he was at the Bulldogs,
right?
And hence why he never faced any sanctions. Went at the Bulldogs when their CEO was Todd Greenberg, who's now the CEO of the NRL.
Yeah. So
does his missus then obviously want to save his career then, obviously?
Yeah.
If she doesn't want to press charges.
But I think that the other issue is whether she does or doesn't, he has no right to play in the NRL. You know, regardless of whether that's the NRL's decision, and it is Super League's decision. They decide who plays at that elite level, because I think, as we've talked before, it is a privilege to play at that elite level, to earn big money, and be a role model.
How many stories has there been this year, pre-season NRL? People getting done for assault, people being accused of this,
That's exactly why we've come to this point, because
so where's the line?
It's the worst off-season in the NRL's history. There's been sex tapes, there's been about 5 assaults, there's been all manner of things go on. misbehaviour, and I think they've come to a point now where it's line in the sand, particularly with repeat offenders, which Ben Barber is, as we all know.
Well, how's he a repeat offender if he's never been convicted?
Well, he's had numerous incidents with the police and in pubs in his hometown Mackay. Not, you know, they're not, they've gone to courts, but they have. And there's obviously the cocaine ban that we know. So
just a word on that, by the way, as well. I want to talk about this later on. Julian Edelman, MVP in the Super Bowl last night, which I love. I love the NFL. Last night was terrible.
Oh, it was a terrible game.
It was terrible. The MVP.
Wakefield terrible.
Worse. The MVP, Julian Edelman, missed the first 4 games of the season for breaking the NFL's performance enhancing drugs protocol. Yet he's now the greatest player in the NFL as it stands right now, the most valuable player. Where do we stand on drugs? There's so many questions. I just think this is a moral thing.
You're right. It is a minefield.
Where do you go? Where do you go?
Yeah.
You know, I showed you some stuff last night on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
If he ain't in, then these players shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
So we're going to go and say, right, mate, yeah, you're correct. No, you're out.
My response to that is, this is a drawing on the line in the sand now.
Right.
And we're not going to go back and go, anyone 10 years ago did this and this. You know, Zach Hardy did this 3. I think, and this is what I'm saying.
We do not condone it. I've got to keep saying that. We don't condone it.
What I think the NRL is saying, all right, we've had that much negative press. We've had, you know, we've tried it. They've got an integrity unit. The players get all the welfare, education, all the support, which perhaps they did in the past. There's no excuses now, and they've just gone, we're not copping this anymore. Now, whether Super League does or not is a completely different question, because it is a different competition in it, and whether it can afford to not have players of Ben Barber's ilk, who is the man of steel, you know, and whether Kenny Edwards and other of these players who've been kicked out of the NRL.
Well, let's be fair. The majority, and I can't.
I wouldn't say
the
majority. I wouldn't say the majority.
Look, in the past, most of them end up here because.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant the majority players in the competition.
No. I mean the signings that have come here. The signings that have come here basically have come in here because they've missed the beat.
Joel Monahan.
Yeah, Kevin Locke, blah blah. List his end. Tim Smith, list his end.
Well, as I tweeted, it's like some NRL players think I can go out on the drink, do whatever, I'll beat up whoever, do whatever, and get a contract.
Well, that's why the NRL have got the integrity, you know, because at the end of the day, we know how big it is over there, and you know, to get the big TV deal, to get the big sponsorship deal,
$1 billion TV.
Yeah, they won't have it if they have this idiot involved in the game. Simple as that. You know, they've got to keep the sponsors. They've got to keep everybody happy. So are we saying, right, we agree with it, it shouldn't be allowed in?
I do, yeah.
For me, it should be allowed in.
I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not being rude. You had no problem with him coming in before.
I did.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I spoke about it as well. Yeah, I did.
I just think it's I don't know.
I think domestic violence against women. I think, as we all know, rugby league is a family game. But what family is it? Is it a family where, you know, the husband can beat up the wife? No, it shouldn't be.
I get that.
If rugby league's a family game, then you can't have somebody who takes drugs involved. You can't have someone who beats people
drives,
up.
breaks the law, runs away from the police involved.
You can't have people.
This is the thing. Where's the line? Who is the man that says, "No, you're not coming in"?
And I think
Todd Greenberg's doing that in Australia now. You know, we've got everything what's gone on. You know, not just a couple of years ago, but even as you mentioned, this close season, he's had enough. The main man's had enough. And that's it, he's stopping.
I think a side issue to what you were saying also, Mark, is can Super League afford to not allow these players, who most of them are very, very good players, not allow them to come in terms of what they bring? Because Ben Barber was the man of steel. He was a great player on the field. Can it afford to kick out potential star players? Are there enough star players already here?
But and also another one for me, should he have been allowed to win the man of steel? Given the convictions that he's got, because those aren't the qualities of a person that we want, are they? Again, I just think it's a can of worms. I mean, all right, we can't just ignore it. So, oh yeah, welcome him back. I guarantee you, 6 of the clubs in Super League will have mentioned his name this week as in saying.
Well, the funny thing is, I spoke to 3 or 4 clubs, and all of them were like, wide berth.
Yeah, that's the public line. That's the public line.
Yeah.
I thought I'm still speaking to you.
I've only been banned for 5.
No, but he spoke to one of them 4 times.
Because unlike you, I've got something called integrity.
Oh, do me a favour, Mr. Davison.
2 things. the RFL
Can't be bored.
The RFL gave a testimony to someone who was convicted of assault. So that's the
serious assault. Serious
so
assault.
that's the rugby.
Maybe part of it is in this Me Too time. We've actually got to a point where standards of behaviour are not what they. Where at least in the NRL, which is Australia, is much more of a nanny state than the UK. It's much more like America. Maybe I think they're just saying, all right, we've allowed this sort of stuff, and we've had enough now. Maybe in England, maybe it's not got to that stage. I don't know.
On the Man of Steel thing, and Karen and John are saying, we're saying he should win it last year. The criteria to win Man of Steel is to be the best player in the competition.
Yeah.
Over the season.
Not the best person.
No. And this is where, and I made this point on Twitter last week. As soon as they named the award after Steve Prescott, they made a rod for their own back. What they should have done, perhaps, like you have in the NFL, we've got the Walter Payton Award for someone who does great charitable work.
They have one in the NRL for
That's what they should have named after Steve Prescott, but they've named this award after him, so this is where we are. The criteria is not the best person, it is the best player. If you want it to be something different, then you have to set that out at the start of the season. Let's go and ask Ellery Hanley, what's the criteria to be Man of Steel? Does it matter what they do off the field? If they're complete gits, they don't sign autographs for kids, but they score 100 tries in a season, kick all the goals and do all the tackles. That's the problem with naming the award. That's the problem that someone's got to solve. They're supposed to be giving out the numbers, aren't they, of who's got the points this weekend. If any of those people have got convictions in the past, should they all be barred from winning the Man of Steel award?
I just think it's a huge...
It's a grey area.
It is a huge grey area, and I just don't know where we're going with it. I really don't, and I think it's going to be interesting. I just thought it was interesting that Gareth come out and said what he did last night when legal process hasn't gone through, and he has got a professional or privileged position in the game. I think maybe he just needed to hold his counsel a bit more and wait to see, because ultimately Ben Barber could be one of his clients next week, and then where does he go from there? I just think it's a bit... He'll play with players that have done things that they shouldn't have done. Is he as critical of them? Does he kick them out? I don't know. I just think it's a strange one.
That's a fair one.
It's a strange one.
Just like that at one point, obviously, best wishes to Scott Giroux, who's obviously battling cancer again. He's the under-20s coach of the Newcastle Knights, former Catalans half, a really, really good guy, and wish him all the best in his recovery.
Yeah,
hopefully
we do. Yeah,
we spoke too much about Ben Barber apparently now.
Well, no,
it's the main news story. It's on the
it's
BBC
not.
website,
Yeah, I'm not so bothered about him. As per, it's the feeling around it, and it's how can he be in an hymn? That's where I'm going with it. It's an interesting one for me. We'll see. What else do people want to talk about?
Good job. Certain players were allowed to play after this point. What about any of all those other players who were banned for cocaine? Do we now say, oh, well, you've come back, your ban ends now, but actually, no, we're not going to register you? Can the RFL say, oh no, we're not going to register Adam Walker now?
I think they can. Well, they have that power. Whether they exercise that power is a different question.
Do you know now we talk about the drug testing, because now we've got two governing bodies, Super League and the RFL. Who's doing the drug testing for Super League teams now? Because
well, not by UKAD, it's all the governing body.
Yeah, but if Super League gets a break away, and they have broken away, could they go down the NRL route where you're only getting banned X number of weeks? Or do we go down the football route where we just pretend it doesn't happen? That's what we do in football.
The World Cup venues were
yes, they were.
A very exciting thing.
How brilliant!
It was great, wasn't it?
Was it? Scully's got his wish. England have got Newcastle.
Yeah.
Opening ceremony.
Yeah.
That is some.
I got my wish.
What's going on?
Well,
Are we going? Are we going? What time with the chicken place? What time are we going to have a late night again?
You're going to find a round of drinks for a change.
Do me a favour,
the whole. What strikes me about this World Cup is the people that are running it have obviously been given A, money by the government, which is great.
Yeah.
And B, they're using that money wisely to make this seem like a professional event.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's already coming on, isn't it?
And the people moaning about, games not going to Wigan. And I love it when MPs tweet about things like this, because I'm thinking, you're making such a mess of the country at the moment. Like, you've got no right to tell the Rugby League World Cup Organising Committee where they should play games. We don't know why they've selected these venues and why they haven't selected others. There's obviously reasons. It's not as if no one from Wigan can get to, say, Leigh, Leeds, Liverpool, Manchester,
St Helens,
Warrington, all these other places. There's no World Cup games in Wakefield and Castleford, but I'm sure as hell I can get to Leeds and Sheffield.
I think what's become apparent is these cities that have bid they've had to up the game. If they want this, they've had to put together something really professional. And I know, I mean, go follow Carl on Twitter. I know what the work's gone in at Doncaster. They're delighted. They've got 3 men's group games going there. This is almost how I want Magic to be. To say, right, we want you all somewhere bid. Why are we coming here? What's in it for us? And I think that's happened. I mean, I look at the stadium. Doncaster 15,000, Hull 25. Leeds 12,000, Manchester 75,000, Newcastle 52, St Helens working in his new stadium. It hopefully is going to be up there and done for that. 24,000 at Huddersfield, 37,000 at Leeds, Ellen Road, 21,000 at Emerald Headingley, Liverpool 54,000, Middlesbrough 35,000, Bramall Lane 32,000, Warrington 15, and the community stadium at York 8,000. Chuck on top of that the Emirates. What a stadium that is! I have been lucky enough to be there. 60,000. Get the tickets on sale now; it'll sell out. And Bolton 28,000 and Coventry 33,000. So some real big stadiums there, and I look forward to seeing who's going to be going where.
The plan's brilliant for England because obviously you build a World Cup around the home side. England are going to be playing in the opening game at Newcastle. That's going to be an event. You can sell that to everyone in the local area and beyond. Then they're going to play at Sheffield and Bolton, the other 2 group games. Again, Bolton. Just off the motorway. It's not as if people from Wigan can't get there. Shut up moaning. It's not a conspiracy because you voted against the RFL or whatever. Deary me.
But what's the capacity there? 111, 112,000, something like that. Those 3 games. I'd be amazed if there's those.
I think Sheffield will be a real chance. Because it's England. People will go and watch England whether they're rugby league fans or not.
Yeah, and it's a decent ground as well.
It is a very good ground.
And will be the first ground in the country to have held an England Football International, Rugby League International, and Cricket Test match.
Wow. There you go.
Rich likes to drop that out.
It's my favourite stand, and I spelled it wrong on Twitter, didn't I? Crap. If England get through the group stage, which hopefully they do, they will play their quarter-final at Anfield in a double-header with the opening game of the women's competition. So the England women's team are going to play at Anfield in their opening group game.
Yeah.
If England win the quarter-final, they would play their semi-final at the Emirates Stadium in London. And then the finals at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So
what do we make of the fact that it is a double head of the final? That's amazing.
Me and Sco were at Suncorp 2017, and that was the double header as well. It's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Absolutely. Because the women's game, is very attractive. We've seen it at club level, but at international level, when we talk about at the Super League level, they get ripped in.
Well, what an incentive now for these girls now. Thinking 2 years down the line, I could be playing at Anfield, at the Emirates, at Old Trafford. I just think it's amazing. I really do think it's brilliant. There was genuine excitement when it came out last week.
The women's semi-finals, I think, are at York and Leeds, not the Emirates, but still.
Oh, right, sorry.
But still, there's going to be another semi. The other semi-final is going to be at Leeds, which might be Australia versus somebody else.
Yeah.
And the task is now for the World Cup organisers, when the draw's made this November and they sort the fixtures out afterwards, is to sell these games out, and they are events. They're not just selling them to us.
What about, by the way, the wheelchair? They got the copper box, aren't they?
And the arena in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And that's going to be great because in the past it's been in the sports hall where you can't get to.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in a big stage, as they deserve to be. It's going to be great.
It's a big difference too, as you mentioned, with the men's and the women's compared to the last World Cup, because the men's World Cup was sort of all across Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, which fairly big distances, and then the women's was concentrated in, I think it was Cronulla over 2 weeks. So you couldn't go and see, be in Darwin and then get to Sydney, the same day to see, England women or whatever. So this is a real improvement.
Having been a volunteer at the last World Cup in this country, you can see how they've learned from things that happened last time to make this a real big event. And as I say, the fact that they've got government money behind it, people money that isn't a game in Bristol or whatever, we missed the boat on Bristol. No point trying to catch. Yeah, there's no point trying to catch lightning in a bottle of something that happened 8 years ago.
Do you know what the great thing about it as well? The Aussies are running scared. Come 2021.
Oh no, they'll have all the players by then.
Come 2021, the Aussies are running scared. We're going to be the world champions. I'm predicting that now. I'm predicting it now, Dave. We're the world champions in 2021.
It's only been 42 years. I think you're due.
Oh, here we go.
Do
Getting
you
your
fair.
excuses in early.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Stop breathing in.
Do you
Stop breathing.
Do you want
Longest I've ever
do you
done.
want some cheese? Mal won't take the challenge. Do you want to send
I
you
want
some
the
cheese?
pint, you me, you cheap
Yeah,
bugger. That's
yeah.
not
You want some cheese? Yeah, all right, Dave.
I am sure people asking about advertising the World Cup. I'm sure by the time the tickets are on sale, they're going to do a proper ballot. You know, like you have for the Olympics or whatever, or the Cricket World Cup. You have to actually apply for tickets. You can't just pitch up at Red Hall and say, "Can I have some tickets, please, Ralph?" You're going to have to apply for things. It's going to be like a proper sporting event with all these great venues. You know, Middlesbrough's a surprise, but obviously.
Well, I didn't even know they'd been, and I
Well,
was there at the football of the week, and I saw it said back the bid on the thing, and I thought, oh wow! I mean, that's again, it's another good stadium. I don't. It'd be interesting what games they get there.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a good stadium. You can't deny that.
I'll be going to that one because I coach the viewing up at Redcar, so Redcar's just round the corner. Yard's a good night out, so we'll make a weekend of it. Eh?
They'll play that game on a Wednesday night now. Just to,
We'll make it. Hey, Redcar in October, November's absolutely great place. We'll have Redcar for 5 days.
all these cities.
What, in
all
a
these-
tent?
Yeah, what's up with that?
One sleeping bag.
As you say,
What's
all
up with
the
that?
cities and towns have obviously put in impressive bids to get these games. It's not just this case of, oh, we're going to have to, go to wherever. People are moaning about it being in a football stadium, whatever. It's a big event. If you take
Well, what
it
have we said? You've got to put it in bigger arenas.
Yeah.
You've got to put it in bigger arenas.
Where else can we take it? Because the Rugby League is only heading, really.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. Warrington,
There's
maybe.
I can't remember if
They're also
League
modern
Express.
arenas, professional
Yeah.
ones.
There's letters either in League Express or League Weekly today saying, can you imagine the outcry if they held the Football World Cup in England and Anfield wasn't chosen when Liverpool were the champions? Well, Liverpool haven't won the championship yet. B, it doesn't matter. Just because Wigan are the champions, Wigan don't have a divine right to hold rugby league games. They don't have the stadium anyway.
No.
So what's the issue?
That's
We
one
want
of the
big
things, isn't
events. We want it to be a big. Oh, look, come to Wigan. We already go to Wigan 3-4 times a year.
Yeah, look, hey, I'm happy
And there's
with
nothing
it.
wrong
I'm
with the
happy with
DW
it.
Stadium.
Tell you
But
what,
it's still.
when it's got a Wigan, I'm not walking aside of it to show. Right,
I like
jeez,
Wigan.
eh?
I like Wigan. I'll be tipping the
No, you
Leeds
don't.
this week.
No, you don't.
I like the pies.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll be back in the good books when it says they'll put 50 on Leeds.
Yeah.
That's a bit harsh.
Hey,
Like 47
it's,
is.
the shame is, and everyone said this afterwards, I spoke to Jodie Cunningham afterwards, and, the shame is it's not tomorrow. We've got to wait for this, but we're building up to something. It's exciting.
It is.
We need more of these things because, we need more excitement. We need more events to get people involved.
Is there a Great Britain tour coming?
What?
Oh, right.
A
What?
what? I should have asked an
Britain.
station.
It's been announced very soon in the international calendar.
What, September?
I've been informed it's announced very, very soon.
Very soon. Like
He's
tomorrow.
the new PR officer
Look
for
at his
Nigel
face.
Wood.
Look at his face. His chops are wobbly. He's laughing that much.
Is it like
Look at
that? Sorry.
Look at him. Yes, Nige. Yes, Nige.
It better be announced. I don't want a free trip. I want a free trip.
It's still his mother for a free trip.
That's a bit harsh.
He only
Hey,
got
that's a
free
bit
polo
harsh.
shirt when he went out to the
Sorry.
World
Give it
Cup.
away.
Your youngest grandson.
It's a bit harsh.
Terrible.
Well, I mean, the great new beginnings, new era of Super League, where everyone's been, we're treating the sport seriously. We're not living up to northern stereotypes or anything.
Oh,
So
yes.
it's been a good week, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah.
What did you make of the ferret tweet?
No comment.
What did you make? Did you see that tweet?
No, what?
That was hilarious.
Someone lost a ferret apparently at Cass on Friday.
the jungle.
The ferret was found at the jungle.
No, it's not surprising, is it?
Who takes a ferret to a game of footy?
We're going to be in a cast.
Hashtag
I haven't seen ferrets climbing the.
Are you in a cast?
I just found it a little bit surprising.
I think that was the highlight in terms of Twitter. That and the Eddie Batty gif when I don't know if you saw it, but when he scores a try and usually you get players they might do this or something, and his is a sandwich and he just shoves it in his mouth and eats it.
Do you think,
I know you're big on Twitter, so you should check it out. Yeah.
do you think Mr. Elson and Mr. Hicken, having said many things about the professionalism of our sport and not treating people like comedy characters, were thinking, yeah, they're all on message this week, aren't they? Bloody bunch of idiots.
Oh dear. Let us know what you want to talk about on Twitter. If you're watching on YouTube, please. Do you subscribe? Is that what you do on YouTube?
Yeah, like
subscribe to us so you know we're there.
Share
Facebook, same thing. Like and share there, and of course on Twitter. if you want to get involved. And more good figures on the old podcast.
Yeah, podcast, yes.
Doing all right,
yeah, we're in the top 100 in Luxembourg last week.
Oh, are we?
I had the figures through. We got up into the top 50 or something in the UK, so that was quite good.
Good. Yeah,
I think we're still behind Peter Crouch and stuff, but you know,
well,
what you can do about that.
he's a Premier League player now, he's Peter.
Well, he is, yeah. No, he's back in the Premier. Got his own sausage as well, hasn't he?
He's got his own sausage.
Yeah,
Is that a
apparently.
euphemism?
No,
Well, he did say if he wanted football, it'd be.
yeah, he did. Marty says, coming soon to the jungle. Pre-match entertainment, pigeon racing.
Pigeon race.
Oh, of course, that's the other big news this week, isn't it? That Leeds have binned off their cheerleaders. Stroke dance team.
He might have been at the Cas game, Richie Owen, because Richie Owen, he bred ferrets and all that sort of thing. So Richie Owen, next Cas player, he might have been down at Cas, taking his ferrets out for a night out. Wait, kebab and a bit of chilli sauce.
They went up 260 places in the Apple Podcast Great Britain professional ranks last week.
Well done, lads and ladies.
So we'll be, you know,
Children,
keep downloading.
old people.
I've got at least 2 iTunes accounts, so you know, keep doing it.
Very good.
Elsewhere, Liam says, Scotty Ripping Cassidy's from Belle Isle. King of Belle Isle. We all know all the
Do they have
North
ferrets in Belle Isle?
Eat 'em.
I wouldn't have thought they do they?
Well, they're getting the takeaway.
I haven't seen ferret and chips on for sale just yet, but.
Belle Isle fried ferret. That's what it's called.
Oh,
Just about said
no, come on.
We don't
Where's
know.
this show going? Hey, where's this show going?
Where's it been? That's the worry.
Well, yeah.
Oh, Tommy accusing me of not liking Wigan. I like Wigan. Got friends in Wigan and
No, you
everything.
don't.
Are you doing any live commentary? Not on this channel, but you know, keep listening to other channels. When are you coming to Hull?
We are, yes. We will.
So-
Hopefully, we are going to sort that out for next. Well, no, we're not going next week, but we'll have a date for you next week. We've had a couple of behind the scenes changes we had to make, so we've just delayed our trip to Hull. And we wanted to know if Lee Radford were going to be there when we went, so we're just hanging on a couple of weeks.
Dion Dublin was at Warrington Saints apparently.
Was he?
Was at Saints
Did he
Wigan.
take his due?
He was at Saints Wigan.
All right. Did he take his due?
The man described as magnificent by Alex Ferguson was there. Don't Google that. I don't know if he's filming Homes Under the Hammer or something, but he was there. So he's our
Yeah,
latest
he
celebrity
was shown on
going.
the TV screens.
Yeah, his son, I think.
Yeah, looked like he was enjoying it, well wrapped up. Yeah, a lot of footballers do watch it, don't they? They love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love
We
it.
need to tap into that market.
Of course we
don't
do.
And,
Absolutely, yeah.
you know.
Even Josh Warrington as well, well, he's a big Leeds fan anyway, but he was promoting before the game as well. So, yeah, these big names, you know, we're talking about
They could do with Josh Warren actually. No, what is he, bantamweight or something?
Featherweight.
They could do with featherweight.
Featherweight.
Yeah, they could do with him playing in the forwards. He's got more punch than some of them Leeds forwards.
So I knew I'd get it out of you sooner or
It's a
later.
bit dodgy.
I'm not being.
Hold on.
I'm not being
An hour
rude.
and a half ago, they've only played one game.
Yeah, they
You've got to give them time. I knew it wouldn't take you long before you got ripped in.
No. That,
Eh?
I go with the way that they play. What I won't say is if your forwards don't take you forward, you're not going to win any games. Their forward pack is. Why did they get rid of Garber?
Dad's army.
Why did they get rid of Garber?
See, I told you it wouldn't take them long. Hey, listen, I'm not the recruitment at Leeds. Hey, they got rid of him because he was injured. When he played, he didn't play well. But on Friday, he was sensational.
Let's talk about it. We really skirted around the whole derby, really. We talked about the repercussions of it. You were there. What was it like?
It was great. Yeah.
Have you been to the whole derby before?
First ever whole derby. I've obviously been to Craven Park and the KCOM quite a lot, but never a whole derby. And it was
quite good, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, too, I asked you the question, and the legend is still looking after you press guys. Still the quality food and the chips pie
Yes,
and the
very
peas.
good,
We've
very
still got them going, Mr.
Lead
Hutchell.
the way, yeah,
Thank you
Mr.
very much,
Hutchell,
Mr. Hutchell. Mr. Pearson, please get rid of that crap soup and start following what the red and whites are doing. Put us some decent
I'm
food on.
surprised, given all the roads that are eroding with all the cold weather, they don't put some of that soup down just to resurface the road. It is a
I'll tell you what, you do a better job of the tarmac, won't it? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
that's what I mean.
awful. So come on, Adam.
So what did you make of it then, the game? Well, we know you tweeted that Hull were going to win.
It looked like it with 5 minutes ago. It was a weird game because Hull KR dominated, particularly the first half, but Hull FC were ahead 12-0, and then they came back into it. They looked like they had the game sewn up. Beretta Farimo scored that try from nowhere, just ran over Danny Maguire, and then it was sort of like, how have KR lost this? And then there was just a fluke ending. I mean,
What was
they
it
had a
like
bit of
at the
everything.
end? What was the reaction at the end?
Well, I had to send my copy sort of five minutes before, so I was frantically trying to write. But no, everyone was going nuts, and it was a great atmosphere. And I think that's the there was the big push for new beginnings and for lots of derbies in the opening round, and didn't disappoint, that derby. I mean, obviously, Hull FC fans will be wondering how they lost it, because it looked like they were home and hosed. But
So after the game, then we know Radders now is on a 12-match losing run. What was he like in the presser after? Was he?
He was very positive.
Yeah.
He was,
Which he will be.
He said he walked in the dressing room and he said his players' heads were down. He said, "Get your heads up." The effort was great. And the thing was, their effort, particularly in that second half, they defended really well. There was no lack of trying, but I think, as you mentioned, with Washbrook there and missing a few key players, they just didn't look particularly. They looked a bit clunky. They didn't look particularly fluent. So it's going to be a really tough game for them against Cass. I mean, I think if they don't win that game, then you've got.
I think they've got Saints or Wigan, haven't they? We'll have a look at that.
Yeah.
He's in must-win territory, isn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, and Lee knows that. Yeah, there's no two ways about it, because I think the first 4 games are pretty tough, and the same Leeds are pretty tough, from there. And I say, come May time, you could be out of it. Honestly, it's all right saying you've got to take a bit of time. They haven't got time. I haven't got time. It's like Wakefield. You included. You fit into the top 4. They ain't got time, because Wakefield will get beat this week by Saints. Leeds will get beat by Wigan. I think Hull will get beat by Cass. Bottom of the league. London, top 5. They could be top of the league if they beat Salford, but I don't think they will do. I think Salford will be there, but top of the table clash. Salford and London. I would have been saying that after week 1. Hey?
Unbelievable.
Tell you what, London, sensational.
It's like Scotland winning the Six Nations.
He's still trying to suck up to London to make up for last year.
No. I give my reasons why I said they would finish 9th or 10th or whatever. I give my reasons.
Doesn't he owe Michael Channing a lot of money?
No, please. Don't be jumping on the bandwagon, Dave. Hey?
Any bandwagon when there's a knife in you.
Who did you go for Wakefield this week against London?
Of course I did.
You? Did you, Mark Wilson?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And Richard Shaw went by 24.
By 22, yeah.
Oh, boy. Why didn't you just take notice of the legend?
Well, because we've been doing that for the last 3 years.
He's always finishing above you in the table, so...
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
I had a
Did
good
last
week.
year.
To be fair, as good a week as you had, he's level with you on the old tipping thing.
Although I should say thanks to our friend David, who listens in Indonesia, one of our foreign listeners.
Oh, yeah, he sent us a spreadsheet.
Yes, there's a spreadsheet which I just need to fill in every week, and it will calculate the scores.
Right,
So,
wow.
Currently, Phil and Gas presenter are on 0 because they were here. So
Oh, didn't we do those?
no. So
Oh, there was only 3 of us here last week.
So
I'm top of the
I am the
You're
Wigan
a point
Warriors.
ahead. You're a
I'm the
point
Wigan
ahead.
Warriors. I'm officially bottom of the table.
he's got like a scoring system and everything.
Yeah, I'm the top. I'm
So
top.
you've
I'm
got
easily top
15
after week 1.
points. I've got 14 points and Mark's got 7.
How many have I got?
15 points.
Hold on.
He's got a scoring system.
Oh, dear hell.
I know.
That seems a bit rigged to me. I got 50% last week. Half right,
50?
half wrong. Never mind.
I'm still trying to find Hull's fixtures, but
We seem to be. Hang on, who's the Bulls fan here? You or me? Because you've been watching more than I have. It must be you. Yes, Nigel.
I'm a hospitality fan.
Would you like another drink, Nigel?
I'm a corporate fan.
Yeah, we'll have to get him a scarf that says
Need it.
hospitality.
I need a t-shirt that says for sale. Scoey for sale.
we can do that. We've got a shop.
Yeah, we have. Right, we'll do our predictions very shortly, so I want yours coming in as well. Anything else that we need to speak about? Have we missed anything, or do we want to...
I'm trying to think what else.
Tommy Makinson signed a new deal.
Yeah.
Said he'd have a chat with a lot of NRL clubs.
Well, he was in Newcastle, I think, catching up with Nathan Brown and catching up with a few friends. He said I spoke to him at the season launch, and I think there was a lot of interest in him. But yeah, great for St Helens, great for Super League.
Yeah. Well, after the season we had last year, and certainly international level, like even when Bennett says, "Where's Tommy Makinson been?" Well, you've been in England Cup for 2 years.
He loves Super League. He watches every game.
But yeah, I'm not surprised at the NRL clubs. But is he married? Tommy, has he got any kids?
I think he's got a girlfriend.
So he's not married or anything.
Not that I know of.
Well, to be honest with you, the way that his style of playing, certainly, they want the wingers to get involved, bring the ball away from their own land, and he does. He's one of the best. So I'm surprised he didn't. Take the chance at NRL. But as Tommy said, when he was injured and this sort of thing, Saints, they looked after him very well. So he's paying back time, loyalty. Good 4-year deal, and certainly he's going to be playing the top of the try scoring charts, or where the St Helens are going to play. So yeah, well done, Tommy Wakers.
Just going back to the Wigan salary cap announcement, what did we make of it being the day before the season started? Are you conspiracy?
No, not at all.
No, why not? Why didn't it get announced then?
I think, well, from what I read and heard, I think the decision was made on the Thursday.
Right.
Obviously, the World Cup announcement was on the Tuesday. I think to announce it the day before as some sort of sabotage plot just seems a bit Lee Harvey Oswald to me. I think I don't think the RFL, I can't give them that much credit for being that sort of ingenious. And also the whole thing about there was a lot of moaning about it's the day before launch. We've got all these things lined up in the paper. Rugby league is not in England is not on the point where it can determine which headlines and which news it gets. It gets column inches. It's lucky to get column inches. It's like the Castleford punch on over in on the pre-season trip.
Is there in terms of Super League? Is there ever anything such as bad publicity? Because
I think there is.
Because if it gets people talking about it, it gets people talking.
You look at the Premier League, the amount of coverage it gets, and a lot of that is negative, but it gets people. And the same as with the NRL, the scandals are not good, but it is back page, front page, every radio station. Yeah. You can't escape it, and that's the opposite.
By the fact there's a game this Friday, and
How many of those writers who were minding the time of the announcement and spent time in the off season writing up columns about Zach Hardacre and Scott Moore?
Why did it take 2 years to sort it out then? It was 2017 the breach. Why is it taking so long?
Well, I imagine it's got to go after once the season's finished in terms of turning out. But that's a good question. I'm not sure.
Why is it taking so long? We'll get the points back.
Anyway, I think they will. You think they will? I think they'll get them back.
I'm not sure.
Although it isn't their first offence, we should say.
It's a third offence, isn't it? It's a third offence.
Yeah.
So to me personally, I don't think they should get them back.
I still can't believe.
Got to learn the lesson.
Wait till someone brought the salary cap when we didn't pay any players. That was good.
Mathematically impossible.
What was that in bank charge? You spent £3.5 million in bank charges.
As I've told the story before, I was outside Red Hall protesting to get our points back.
I think.
Is that right?
I was saying it.
How many fans were there?
About 4 of us.
Four of us.
It was on Sky the week after. You could see me in front of the Red Hall holding a flag or something.
Did you have a banner that said Nigel Wood is a...
No, because this was before.
No.
This was pre-night. This is when he was the chief of the Halifax Blue Sox. What a great job he did there. 3rd of March.
Oh, come on, Rich. Leave Nigel alone.
I'm saying he did a great job. I'm saying he did a great job.
Leave him alone. Hey, I've got to get my place back at Bradford.
Yeah. 3rd of March.
I've got to get the car park yet.
3rd of March, the big game, Huddersfield versus Hull.
So they play Wigan. They've got Castle at home, Wigan away. Then they go to Huddersfield. Then Leeds at home.
Yeah.
And then Wakefield at home.
Oh.
We're gonna have a competition. When are Hull gonna win the next game? We should have that. We'll give away a prize for that. Tell us when they're gonna win the next game.
I might be.
I'll tell you what we'll do for the Hull fan as well. We're brilliant, won't it? I'll get a signed ball by myself.
I think we're allowed.
You think they want it?
I'm going to say, we are allowed to give away a subscription.
Just a burn.
Yeah. So if you want to predict when it's going to be, we'll give you a year's subscription to 4020 magazine.
Okay.
Oh, Phil will be happy with that.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. No, what we'll do a score. We'll do a guess the score on Thursday.
All right.
We'll tweet this out, put it on Facebook. We'll guess the score. If anyone gets it right, we'll give away a subscription to Phil's fantastic magazine.
Do you know what Phil's?
I don't know if he knows we're doing.
Phil's missing. Yeah, Phil's missing downstairs.
Oh, she's downstairs.
She's going ballistic.
What
they're doing? What they're doing?
No, we have been told. We have it on good authority.
Your phone will be good in a minute.
I have in my hand a piece of paper.
You also told to get players to hold up the magazine. I forgot to take one.
Oh well, there you go.
It was a busy week.
Yeah.
And I was going to say something else, and I can't remember what it was, but yeah. So there's the news from Hull.
So where is the next week coming from? Well, they won't beat Cass on Thursday.
They won't beat
Huddersfield.
Huddersfield. Do you think they'll beat Huddersfield? Yeah.
I think it's the best chance.
And when's that? Next week?
I'm saying they'll beat Leeds.
Or 4.
Yeah, you do my heading, you.
He's getting the Ferner out banner ready.
No, I'm not. No, further in.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Doing a great
job. Fall on the bounce, bottom of the league. Yeah, keep Ferner in.
What's Sinfield in?
That was the funny bit about the presentation of the World Cup, which obviously if you get professionals to make a video, then it looks good. Big was moaning about the sound levels on this. Amateurs, see, we're amateurs. If you get professionals to make a presentation, it will look good. The bit where Helen Skelton says to Kevin Sinfield, I have to be nice to you, you're my husband's boss. That was quite funny. I don't think it's going to be an England squad for the World Cup.
You what, sir?
I don't think it'll be an England squad in 2021.
No.
but he's got 2 jobs this Kev, hasn't he? We've got 3.
Yeah.
Leeds, England, the Rugby League World Cup ambassador.
Who's Sean on about when he says I don't rate him? He's hardly Paul Newlove, is he?
I don't know.
That's quite an interesting question.
Where's Mason Caitland-Brown anyway?
I don't know. Where is he?
Where is he?
He left. Did he leave Toronto?
Canada. I think
So
there was talk that he was a free agent.
Yeah.
But I can't shed any light.
Or did Wakefield not just loan him then? Did they sell him?
No,
I
they
think
sold him. He was
they
out of
sold him.
contract, wasn't he? He was off contract.
Oh, right.
If Wakefield had sold him, we'd know about it now because it'd be in the paper.
Okay.
John says Connor needs to be told to shut his mouth. He cost his team bad.
Well,
You know,
he got banned in a pre-season friendly.
And here's the amusing thing about that game: the difference between the 2 sides. 1 goal kick, and it was Josh Drinkwater, and not the man who does all the goal kicks for Hull FC.
Come on, any more?
No, people are starting to send in their predictions now.
Well,
Roy says Thursday.
When Connor
Yeah.
tears Cass apart.
Yeah. Alex says Wigan should be banned from Super League. They can join Bradford in the competition.
Who's that Andrew Chandler?
Thanks, Andrew. all participation is welcome in our show. You know that now.
Who do we think will be the top try scorer? Asked Catherine. Is it? Don't look at that.
Top try scorer. Josh Charlie for me.
Yeah, he's going to get some tries in here, I think. What about you, John?
Yeah, that's a tough one to go past. I'm going to go Regan Grace.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what as well, what I did say on all last week with Warrington, because you were mentioning Marmore, tell you what, how well was he, Ryan Atkins?
He played well.
I thought he was playing well last year till he got injured, to be fair.
He seems to now, because you know with the competition with places, as I say, because Godwin's going to be selected week in and week out now on the same moment, but he looks as though he's got his mojo back now, does Atkins. He was very impressive.
In Twitter news, I'm not sure what's happened to the Liverpool RLFC Twitter feed, but it seems to have disappeared. However, Pyland's RLFC is still there, so we're still 1 up. Come on, boys.
I think it's
been
been hacked. Marwan's account's been hacked.
From Widnes fans, maybe?
Maybe.
Well, it could
Or
be
Salford, or the
Cumbria
Lakers, yeah, or whoever else is in
Mark, leave it. We need to get to Chester races.
Oh,
leave it alone, Mark.
Sure. Oh, by the way, anyway, I'm just looking at the stats from the Leeds game. Everyone getting ripped into Hull. I watched a little bit. I only saw a little bit of it because I was driving home. I watched a bit when I was at the services. But Hull made 163 metres. It was the biggest go forward for Leeds.
It's a fair effort.
Who's
Not
that?
bad, 163
Harold.
metres. From,
Yeah, come on,
from 23 carries, by the way.
Yeah, but hold on. It's supposed to be a centre.
No, we're talking about Harry.
Getting the ball, 40, 50 yards out, to trying to get on the outside of the opposition centre to create opportunities for his winger, not being used as a battering ram like a second rower.
It's interesting.
Do me a favour. Forget about that stat. Forget about that stat.
It's probably a reflection of where the game was played. But all the back 5 are well into double figures for carries, and only 4 of the Leeds forwards are in double figures for carries. That's quite a damning stat, isn't it?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
I
It's
mean,
a
don't get me
ridiculous
wrong,
stat.
it's quite similar for Warrington, but at least most of their pack did get into double figures when they were carrying the ball.
Well done, whoever at Warrington decided to send Wolfie spying on Saints, because that was great.
I think that's Carl Fitzpatrick.
That's the kind of thing that the club should be doing, not tweeting about bloody ferries. Because that's funny.
I get
That's actually funny.
impression that Wolfie could be doing some Spygate at other grounds.
Right.
potentially.
That's what I'm more of.
Yeah.
Mascot's doing daft things.
Yeah.
Google Sammy the Tammy from Dunfermline and his cardboard tank is one of the funniest things you'll ever see. Nothing to do with rugby league, but it's
I remember Rufus Robin at LKR when it was Armed Forces Day. He had a tank. He was driving up and down the side. I thought we could do with that and go see Nigel, but obviously you won't do that now, will you?
David says, Brady.
Nigel gets his wallet out at Odsall. What do you in his pocket as well? Oh, he's got it, you look.
Oh, that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh.
Truth
Hey,
is.
What can we say? We're losing credibility.
No, listen, I can get you an invite. It's a lovely box.
Mate, innit? Mate, Odsall before, you know.
It's iconic, I've seen it on the telly. I'm looking forward to seeing more on the telly and on the Our League app and stuff. David says, Greg Eden, if I could speak, to beat Dennis Solomona's record.
Yeah, fair enough.
Tell you what as well, look at the highlights. Shenton looks in good form on that left-hand side. He's still a quality centre, isn't he?
Good player, isn't he?
He looks in good form, Shenners.
Well, week in, we're still excited. Usually after a week you go, but now it's still exciting.
What we also, Richie mentioned it earlier as well. Excuse me, about with Liam Watts, saying the game's going soft. What do you reckon? Because he likes getting ripped in and whatever, so.
But what does he mean? What does he mean?
I don't know.
Soft?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah,
I don't know. How is it going soft? I don't know.
Is it going soft for the reason to protect the players from head injuries and stuff? Because that's got to be a good thing. Because we know more now than we did know in the past.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spoken about that. There was a report on the BBC website this week about the deaths in French rugby union, and obviously our sport has suffered tragic losses in the last few years, all through accidents. So if we're there's nothing wrong with trying to make the game safer. If you want to go and beat people up, go become a mixed martial artist or a boxer. I know that sounds harsh, but it's the modern day. We want everyone to be safe as possible.
It's an interesting comment, isn't it? I'd love to know the context in which you mean
Well, he doesn't expand on the point.
Well, that's what I mean.
That's
There's no
the
context
problem,
to it,
it's
so you
just
can't really.
the game's soft.
You're guessing at what he's thinking.
It's soft. It's soft.
He seems to play it quite tough to me when he carries the ball. He doesn't hold any prisoners.
Do all the forwards still bash him? Yeah, of course they do.
I tell you what, we know he left home with the club and the big fallout with Radders, but they're missing.
I don't know. Did he have a fallout with Radders, or did Radders just say, look, enough songs?
Well, he had a fallout with another prop.
Well, whatever we want to put it, he wasn't welcome in the dressing room, was he? So, but I tell you what, the black and white's missing.
Yeah.
They miss him. They do.
They do.
England needing to wind up the Great Britain needing to wind up the whoever we're playing the series that's coming up.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
It will be announced soon.
What's
How
in
do you
Connor?
know?
He's the manager.
How do you know?
Because I do know.
Mark says that Watts was referring to players falling around and diving about to play the ball. He does, but he also says the game's going soft as well. So the players, as I always say, they're the ones who can stop diving. They're the ones who can stop acting like idiots on social media. But it's up to them to do it. Simple as that.
Very good. Has anyone got a pen?
No,
What's filming you need?
I've got a thing.
Oh, you can put them in there, can't you? Oh, you can do it direct. Right, we're going to do our predictions. And as,
Hold on, Mark. I'm led to believe last week you said, you are monitoring all the predictions and you're going to announce it. What there was. Come on. So last week. Come on.
That's it. Yeah, you got 5 out of 6. Rich got 5 out of 6. I got 3 out of 6.
But you are top because you got something spot on.
Yeah, St Helens I got spot on.
Yeah, Saints by 10.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Saints by 10.
I did.
Sure.
I did.
So you got it right.
I did. I can't remember what other one you
I
got
said
right.
Saints by 8. Gary went Catalans by 10. Rich and I went Cast by 4. Gary Ulcare by 7. Ulcare by 8 for Rich. I went Hull FC. Gary went Salford by 8. You went Salford by 6. I went Huddersfield. Yeah, cheers for that, lads. Warrington Leeds. Warrington by 22. Warrington by 12. Warrington by 4. We all got that right. And Gary London by 8. Lucky. Wakefield by 22. Wakefield by 18. Alright, so you won. So you get well done, Gary.
Well, it is a marathon, not a sprint.
It is.
Well,
Let's go again then. Go on, let's go again. Hull Castleford. We'll start off with the league leader, Mr. Schofield.
Well, the press is on, and
It is. You're right. Don't get this wrong.
Well, there's only one side. The press is on, and that's a black and white, isn't it? But Connor's back, so he'll certainly add something. Certainly when they get themselves in the right field position to that creativity, what the last against Ilkis Rovers. But you just feel as though Castleford, great start against Catalans. Look back to something like how they want to play, certainly on that left-hand side. Even though Hull have done pretty well against Cass at home over the last few years, I think we've got the wood over them, but I just feel as though Cass are staying out. I'm going Castleford, and I'm going Cass by 10.
Castleford by 10 is the call. What about you, John?
Unfortunately, I've got to agree with the legend. I think
It's all right. I know it feels a bit.
It does, yeah. I'm going to have to go and have a shower, but
yeah.
Cast by 8, I think.
Cast by 8.
I think Cass as well. I'm going to go a bit. Bigger. I'm going to go Cass by 12.
I said last week I wanted Hull to win just for Radders, and they didn't win, and now I think, oh, come on, man. Yeah, I'll go with the consensus, and I'll go Cass. I'll go Cass by 8. Yeah. Friday, Wigan, home win against Leeds.
Well, Wigan, they want to get shut this -2 points, and then I say they'll be hurt by that defeat against St Helens. If George Williams gets anywhere near back to his best instead of being indecisive, then he'll cause Leeds all sort of problems. The Wigan forwards will certainly smash into the Leeds forwards like Warrington did. And Leeds, again, I'm just worrying from a point of view. If Leeds are going to win the game, where is it going to come from? Where's the creativity going to come from? And that's where we're totally lacking from there. So I just can't see Leeds at all getting good field position to create the opportunities for the outside backs. It's just not there. So Wigan to get rid of the minus, and it's going to hurt this, but I'm going Wigan by 20.
Oh God, I hope he's right again this week. Oh, sorry. Go on, you've got to follow him up.
I think Wigan weren't too bad on Thursday. They obviously came up against a very good St Helens side, and I think at home, Adrian Lamb looked quite despondent at times in the stands.
It looked quite cold as well, actually.
I think he was thinking of Bondi.
Yeah, he was thinking, Jesus, this is cold.
He was over there for 12 months.
But no, I think Wigan will be too strong at home, and they'll be very motivated to get back to 0. So Wigan by 10.
Rich?
I'm going to go in between those two numbers. Although Leeds, we're all laughing now, but they are the New England Patriots, and eventually, I think got Tom Brady, have they?
No.
Wigan by 16.
I don't think Wigan at the minute are capable of scoring enough points to win by 20. I think they'll win, but I think it'll be quite close. I'd say it'll be something like 18-10. I'll go Wigan by 8. Yeah. Warrington against Hull Kingston Rovers. This is on Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, why are they playing Saturday?
I don't know.
I think
It's
they
not
do.
Saturday, why are
I
they
think
playing
that's
Saturday?
their game day.
Oh, by the way, why did Cass play Friday? Have they changed theirs down from Sunday afternoons, Cass?
No, I think they're playing Thursday this week, mate.
Oh, no,
So
that was right, okay. Yeah, Warrington, Hull Kingston Rovers. Well, yeah, great performance from Hull KR, and this is where they are going to be tested, aren't they? We know they've bought a bit more quality, got plenty of numbers from there, but this will be a test, certainly of their character away from the KCOM. But Warrington, great start. They'll be looking to carry that on. They certainly would have penciled this in for the 2 points, and they'll be looking to put plenty of points on. And the way they played against Leeds, if they don't take the foot off the gas, there could be plenty of points here for Warrington. We're Warrington by 26.
John?
Yeah, I think Warrington put down a bit of a marker against Leeds, and even though it looks like Benny Westwood and Toby King, I think are going to be, or potentially banned, they've got great depth, so they can bring players in, and I think Warrington by 12.
12?
Rich?
Yeah, I'm sorry, just getting distracted by the Liverpool.
It's not every game's going to be won by 22 or 21.
Perfect for Valentine's Day.
As far as he ain't gone for a 7 yet. I'm wondering. He's like Lenoff, I think. 7!
Oh, it's coming soon.
There'll be a 7.
It's coming.
somewhere.
It's coming. It's coming.
We'll Photoshop his head onto Length.
I want the pick of the golden point. That's
It's coming. It's coming.
Just smash Phil's thing.
Well, bad news is I stood on a Blackpool player earlier as well. So
hell.
He's fallen. Look,
Oh, God. We've killed him.
I knocked him off the table and
We've killed him.
Maybe that could be next for the good Dons. Blackpool, bring back Blackpool. Warrington by 18.
Yeah, look, Hull KR, big mental week for them last week. It's very difficult to back that up. I think Warrington, like Gary said, I think probably, when they've looked at that game this week, I say, well, I'm second half, boys. Need to be a bit better than that. I think Warrington will win by 18.
There you go.
Catalans Huddersfield.
You mentioned Catalans, yeah.
Hold on, what's Nigel told you to say?
Oh, come on, I'm doing Chalmers. I do my own column. Anyway, so I do my own column against Smith. But anyway,
You know what? There's that photo up on the door at Oddsley. Everyone goes, you see any of these? Kick him out.
Anyway, so Catalans, they're massively disappointed with that performance against Cass. So Huddersfield against Salford, but all the big signings, they want to make it a fortress as they try and do every year. There at Catalans and Giants, their big players missing still. I think this will be quite convincing for Catalans. Catalans by 24.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Catalans back in Perpignan, they're a different beast, and I think Huddersfield missing McGilvery and Cudjoe and Gaskell, they'll struggle.
Did he say Gaskell might play this week? I think he said one of them might play this week, not McGilvery or Cudjoe. I think he said Gaskell might play.
What's up with Cudjoe? What's he doing?
I don't know, to be honest.
Right.
So go on, where you going?
I think Catalan's by 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go similarly as well. It's difficult to tip Huddersfield, isn't it? And it's got pointed after the World Club Challenge break, so it's not going to be a great run for them. Catalans by 20.
Okay. I will go 18. Right. Where else are we going? Salford, London, Sunday afternoon. Top of the table clash, or near enough, second against third. Come on, Gary. Kiss the badge.
This will be an exciting game because both teams like to throw the ball around a little bit, don't they? And I can't give a 7-point performance from this for the victors. It'll just be too much of an open game, So Salford, very, very impressive against Huddersfield. London on the road, be a little bit different to kettle of fish. But Danny Ward, as he knows, the lads will play with a smile on their face, plenty of confidence. Wasn't a surprise to the legend that they beat Wakefield. Surprised everybody else, but people will listen sooner or later. But Salford, I just feel as though we Jackson Essence at this moment in time in form. Everybody's responded. I'm going for Salford. I'm going Salford by 7.
Do it. Do the Hoover. Come on!
I think I'm going to be at this game, so I'm looking forward to it. Red Devils, yeah, I mean they look quite slick.
They were good last
year. Yeah, and when you've got the spine that they've got with Lussick and Hastings and Louis and Evalds is a very, very good spine. So I think London away from their Ealing fortress. I think Salford by 12.
I think it's going to be a Salford win. I don't think they'll be complacent. Maybe that's something that might have happened yesterday. Not to take anything away from London, because they were very good. Salford by 10.
I'm going to go a bit more. London again, big week for them mentally last week. Got that win. I think there'll be loads of points. I think it'll be a high-scoring affair, but I just watched Salford last week, and when they get on a roll, they're going to score some points. And I think they'll win quite easily. I'm going to go Salford by 28. Danny, if you're listening. Wakefield, St Helens.
Well, we'll be for sure. If Wakefield didn't have the right attitude last week at London, they'll certainly need it this week against Saints, because we also are well St Helens played. There won't be too many changes from there. They'll be going there with plenty of confidence, St Helens, and they know themselves. Wakefield have been pretty decent against them from there, so the attitude's got to be right from Wakefield. But I just feel as though Saints, with the big guns what they've got, Thompson and Walmsley, they'll get ripped in that big pack of forwards of Wakefield's, and too much class for Saints. And I think it's going to be quite easy for St Helens, to be honest with you. And I'm going to the Wakefield game on Sunday as well. So Wakefield.
Why is Nigel second you?
It's a bit harsh. I'm just saying, I'm going to the. I'm going to the Wakefield game on Sunday.
You found some tickets.
And Wakefield fans, I know you're having a bit of a pop, say I'm always against you. Well, I'm not against you. But it wasn't my fault the players didn't turn up with the right attitude. You got beat by London. And I told you the reasons why London was going to beat you. And I've just told you now why St Helens are going to beat you on Sunday by 24.
Oh, that is brutal. That is brutal. Look at the look he's giving me as well.
And I'm going to the game as well. So
You're not going to don't come in the press room and nick all the chips.
Yeah, what capacity are you going in? What are you doing?
Can't tell you.
So you're going to try and sneak in? Yes.
Are you listening, Michael?
Come on over there.
Are you listening, Michael? Got to get in car park.
Are you taking that brick?
At Bellevue, I mean, they Wakefield beat St Helens, one of the few teams to beat St Helens last year, and I think they'll be very pumped up to, they got their bums smacked a little bit by London, but still, St Helens just I think too much firepower. I think Saints by 6.
This is the kind of game that Wakefield would win off the back of a terrible performance, but as we're playing for points and the overall glory of being crowned champion tipster in this studio, I'll go for Saints by 12.
I want to go for Wakefield.
No, do me a favour. Do me a favour.
I've just noticed an error in the
do me a favour.
Leeds didn't get 2, did they? So that's an error he's sorting out.
Yeah,
We're not saying
we
it
know
comes
Michael's
anyway.
listening. Yeah, we know Michael's listening, but come on, be honest.
I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be a 2-point game and
Do me a
St
favour.
Helens will, how many games did Wakey lose?
I tell you what.
by
I tell you what.
two
You know
last year?
what? Do you know what?
How many games did they lose?
Do you know what? Every season you come out with a bonkers statement. You started it already. Second week into the season, bonkers. 2 points. Do me a favour. Go on. 2 points to who?
All right, Nigel's sidekick. Calm down.
The new Ralph River, is that what we call him?
Right, mini nudge.
You're a poor
Mini
man's.
nudge.
You're a poor man's
Not my
Ralph
lawyer.
Rimmer. You're a
You're
poor
what?
man's Ralph Rimmer. St
At
Helens
least
by
Ralph
2.
Rimmer has a nice suit, you know.
St Helens by 2. You want an extra chip butty, don't you? On Sunday.
I'm
That's
not
what you
going
have.
to. It don't matter to me. Yeah, don't worry. I'll tell the steward you're going. Right, that's it. We've done another 2 hours flow by. Thanks to John for standing in as always. We appreciate that. Thanks to the legends. Please don't let him get any right this week. Thanks to Rich as ever. Thanks to you for watching, listening, subscribing. We'll tweet out as well. Have a guess at the score. Hull against Cass. If anyone gets it right, we'll give you a subscription to the fantastic 4020 magazine. We will be back next week. Download the podcast, subscribe to that, leave your feedback. All is welcome. It's been a pretty good week for Rugby League. New beginnings. We'll be back next week. The question is, whose shirt will I be wearing next week? Will the Broncos be top of the pile